Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
58 with partly cloudy skies at 10 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. At least 2 people have died after a car and stabbing attack at a synagogue in England. CBS's Holly Williams says it happened in the northern city of Manchester on Yom Kippur, the holiest day on the Jewish calendar.
The police arrived within 10 minutes and shot a man who's believed to be the offender. 4 other people were injured with both stab wounds and injuries caused by the vehicle. Now, according to a local media report, the attacker did not get inside the synagogue itself.
The Prime Minister says additional police now being deployed at synagogues throughout the United Kingdom in response to the Manchester attack. Also, we've just learned that the shooter, or the attacker, is now dead. Congressional leaders are no closer to an agreement to end a federal government shutdown. Senator John Fetterman, one of 3 Democrats to vote in favor of a Republican funding bill, says a shutdown is never the right thing to do.
It was wrong when the Republicans did this, and now it's the same situation now. It's actually our party that's driving it, and I think that's absolutely the wrong decision.
President Donald Trump sees the shutdown now as an opportunity to reshape the federal workforce, suggesting mass firings. The next votes to fund the government are set for tomorrow afternoon in the Senate. A man is facing multiple charges, accused of setting fire to an ATM in Ross Township early Wednesday. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has new information.
Police and fire crews responded to Chase Bank on McKnight Road, where surveillance video showed a man pouring gasoline over the machine and igniting it. The suspect, identified as Keith Coyne Jr., turned himself in around 6 p.m. Wednesday. According to police, Coyne admitted to the act, saying he wanted to make a statement against the federal government. The gas can found at the scene was marked with an expletive. No injuries were reported. Coyne is now facing 2 charges of arson, as well as a charge of criminal mischief. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
State troopers are searching for a missing pilot in Indiana County. 75-year-old David Whitmer took off in an ultralight aircraft last night from a field in Young Township and failed to return. Investigators believe Whitmer and his aircraft are in a 2 to 6 mile radius of the field. Whitmer is 6'1", weighs 180 pounds, and has gray hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. 2 regional jets collided last night at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Delta Airlines says the low-speed collision happened on a taxiway a few minutes before 10 p.m. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more.
We've seen some pictures from the scene that show damage to the nose of one of these regional jets. Also, one of the cockpit windows, at least the outer panes of it, appear shattered.
A flight attendant was treated for a minor injury. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 91 points at 46,532. The Nasdaq is up 69 and the S&P is up 7 points. KDKA Sports, 3 Major League wildcard games today. The winners are advancing to the divisional series play. The Detroit and Cleveland play at 3:08. The Padres and Cubs at 5:08. The Red Sox and Yankees at 8:08. And on Thursday Night Football, the Rams are hosting the 49ers. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, 45 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 10:03. 58, partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and AccuWeather next.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
If you're concerned about the future, you'll want to hear this. There are more than 1,800 ancient Bible prophecies, many of them pointing to current world events with shocking accuracy. There's one final prophecy that's about to unfold about humanity's future. It will be revealed at this once-in-a-lifetime free event, and we'll unlock precisely what the Bible says about the future and how you can be prepared. Register at hopeforhumanity.info.
Leading with support and a proven commitment to public safety, represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's respect and trust from the labor community and unanimous endorsements by city, county and state, public safety, and first responders are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on November 4th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up, my friend?
What's up, Marty, is we are seeing very slow traffic as you're trying to come out of the South Hills on Route 51, Sawmill Run Boulevard right now. We have eyes on this with a PennDOT camera. It looks like we have a disabled tractor trailer, some sort of tanker truck. Right as you approach the intersection with Bowsman Street, it's in what would be the left-hand lane, not the far left turning lane, but the left travel lane. And because of that, everybody is sneaking by in a very slow-go single lane of traffic, backing you between Whited and Edgebrook Avenues as you make your way there. So definitely please leave extra travel time to get around that obstacle. Parkway West inbound is a little bit slow for you on the front side of Green Tree Hill. Right around the Banksville on-ramp is where you get in line there. Slow traffic getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge. Parkway East inbound is sluggish at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be pleasant with sunshine and some high clouds. Our high temperature 76 and partly cloudy tonight, though 50 to 54. Partly sunny tomorrow morning, then mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon, high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Oh, man. This one is tough. I've been at this a while. I mean a long time. And I think the DA knows this too, and I'm going to talk to Nate here in a second, but because I think Nate's gotten some of this blowback, and I know Patrick knows, and we've been doing this for more than 20 years, TV and radio. This story reached hundreds of thousands of people, and the blowback, I would call it, has been awful, to be honest. Racist, hate-filled, angry, sociopathic to a point. I mean, dangerous. About the death of Kendrick Curtis Jr. Look, let me make sure you understand this. This is not insignificant. This is a big, big deal. And any time a young black man is shot and killed by a law enforcement officer, there's question marks. There are historic questions here. There are regional questions here. There are factions here that are always going to hate cops. We live with that. So do they. But the truth will set you free, or it won't. Because, there was a study done, and they showed 100 people the same car accident. Same. And they all saw a different set of circumstances, the same car accident. It happens. You formulate an opinion, but you don't want to change it. But I respect and admire the DA for saying this is so important. We've got to address this rhetoric and move on as a community. And that's why I'm grateful that we have the Beaver County DA, Nate Bible, with us this morning live. Good morning, Nate. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you, Marty. Good morning to you as well.
But I think I nailed it, right? Considering that there has been, and Nate, I don't want to speak for you, but in terms of rhetoric, my friend, this has been high level, sir, has it not?
It absolutely has, yeah. And that's, right out of the gate, whether it was people on scene, the rumor mill just started running, and there was a very false narrative put out there that, and even after, the press conference yesterday, I'm still seeing things on comments on Facebook and comments on articles, that some people still aren't quite getting it. I've still seen one that kind of shocked me was, well, I don't understand how could the ATF agent only fire one time if he was shot 4 times? That's because he wasn't shot 4 times. Yeah. He was only shot 1 time. But people out there still think, and I've read comments, well, there was 3 cops. They probably each fired once. No, that's not what happened. 1 officer fired 1 time, and that was it. But again, you still, I think you hit the nail on the head once. Sometimes when people kind of get stuck in their ways, it's they want to believe one thing, and it's tough, for them to kind of change course.
Nate Bible, Beaver County DA. In fact, Nate, this is unusual for you. For you to do this, for you to be so public, and very unusual for you to release a video. Why did you decide that it was important in this case to do that, sir?
Well, I think the main reason, one, I hope that, being transparent would calm the community a little bit. Like you said, there's a lot of restlessness. We've had, some of the officers involved getting threats. We've had, statements that they're putting hits out on some of these officers, their children getting harassed at school and being threatened. And ultimately it's because these officers were just doing their job. Nobody when they sign up for the police academy or when they put on that uniform, wants to shoot somebody. That's just not, and again, maybe there's a couple psychopaths out there, but in Beaver County and the guys that I know and the guys that I work with, nobody wants to take a life. That's the last thing they want to do.
Hey, Nate, let's do this because I think it's important, and I respect and admire the fact that you're here.
Sure.
And I've been at this a while, and Nate, we edited that. We put graphics in it. We posted 2 minutes and 20 seconds of it, and people still don't want to believe it. But lay out for us what happened on September 18th, sir.
Sure. So, as I said yesterday, there's a Safe Streets initiative that's been brought into Beaver County, and it's been here since last year. I met with the FBI. I met with a couple other federal agencies, and there's a big, gun violence problem in Aliquippa. A lot of street level crimes there. The police staff has been. It's been short, really, since I've started. They've been undermanned, and so getting some help from a different agency to combat some of these things, I thought was a good idea. We do have a local officer involved with it as well, so we do have a Beaver County element. So anyway, they've been conducting these investigations for over a year in Allegheny, in Aliquippa, have gotten several indictments out of it, and that day was like no other. They were patrolling Aliquippa in an unmarked car, plain clothes, undercover like they usually are.
Right.
They received a call from a confidential informant describing, Mr. Curtis and saying there's an individual who matched his description that has a gun. So they went to further investigate it. And you can see from the video, that's kind of where the video picks up. They're actually on the phone with the CI at that time. And, they drive over to where Mr. Curtis was at the steps. Mr. Curtis starts going down the steps. He's about halfway down, I'd say. The ATF officer opens the door, says, "Show me your hands, police." And then that's when Mr. Curtis, fires 2 rounds off, one hitting the undercover vehicle. The other one, it doesn't look like it hit anything. And then the ATF agent returned fire and one shot, which ultimately, hit Mr. Curtis in the head and he succumbed to those injuries. But I know there was a question yesterday, if I can add that, well, why did they shoot him in the head? Officers are taught to go for the center mass, right? And that's kind of your chest and your stomach. That's the largest target of the body, right? They're also taught, you shoot until you neutralize the threat. Now, I'm not saying in that situation that, he was only hit one time, so it wasn't as if there was 30 shots fired. But, there's plenty of times where you hit somebody once, they look like they're down, you go over to look at them, and then they shoot you, right? So, these officers have a very dangerous job. And when they're put in that position and someone's firing at them, they have to protect themselves and they have to protect the other officers.
Very sensitive stuff. Hey, Nate, tell us about this bullet that hit the car, what happened to it once it hit the door, and if that officer had not popped out of that car, sir?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, it's I can speculate as to what may have happened with that bullet, but, it appeared that as the door was kind of opening is when the shot was fired. And you saw from the photos I released the entry of the bullet hole on sort of the left side. If you're looking at the car panel, it rattled in the door panel and almost came out the door panel as well on the right side of it. There's a dimple facing outward where it appears that the bullet tried to exit from. The bullet was found in the door panel, so it did, it's accurate that it rattled around in there, tried to exit through it. But, just speculating, I mean, had that door been opened further, that bullet would have entered into the car. Now, again, whether it hits one of the officers, there was an officer in the driver's seat, the ATF agent getting out of the car, or if the door had been shut and that bullet had a clear path, it very likely could have went through the car and been in the same situation where it could have hit one of the two officers.
Can you hang, sir?
Sure.
Let's be clear before we go to the break and then come back. You don't like any of this, sir. You don't want to talk about something like the death of a teen, do you, sir? It's terrible, isn't it?
It's absolutely terrible. And anytime there's a loss of life, it's not a good day. And, this young man was only 18 years old. And it's very sad and very unfortunate that he lost his life. But, I also don't want to lose sight of the fact that an officer could have been shot and an officer could have lost his life as well. So it's an all-around bad situation.
And Nate, did you say that there are hits out on these cops?
There's been, I think a Facebook post or somebody messaging that, they were putting a hit out and it's been investigated. I will say this, from the federal agencies and our local agencies have been great in adding extra protection to these officers who are involved. But yeah, I mean, any threat is taken very seriously and investigated, and it's not going to be tolerated, quite frankly.
We'll be right back, folks. Man. So you want to be a cop? We'll be right back with the DA. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Wow. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
What's up is we continue to have delays around an earlier accident. It looks like possibly a disabled vehicle resulting from that accident. This is on your northbound ride on Route 51 as you approach the intersection with Bousman Street. So you're getting in line before Edgebrook Avenue as you make your way northbound trying to get to the Liberty Tunnels this morning. You're only getting by in a single lane of traffic. It's in the left-hand lane, and we do have crews on the scene, so please do leave extra time as you travel there. Parkway West on the inbound commute, it's slow for you right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp. No problems traveling through the West End. You do have the Parkway East inbound, a little slow at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a fine fall weekend is shaping up with a lot of sunshine around on Saturday and a high of 78. Saturday night will be clear and cool with a low of 53. Perhaps a touch warmer on Sunday with sunshine, some clouds, and a high not far from 80. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. So we're helping you with deals on top brands like Scott's, Pit Boss, Cobalt, and Trex Decking. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Here's what I love about Oakmont Bakery. So, Mark Sorreo is the bakery king. J.K. is the restaurant king in Oakmont. So, J.K. turns 60. Guess who made him his cake? Mark Sorreo, Oakmont Bakery. The cake was bespoke, handmade, homemade, anything J.K. wanted. I love the fact that two men that work so hard that make Oakmont such a wonderful place can celebrate J.K.'s 60th birthday. Oakmont Bakery, where everything is delicious.
great opportunity for October savings at Coons Market.
Boneless pork loin chops, buy one, get one of equal or lesser for free. Red, green, or black seedless grapes, $1.29 a pound. And Kraft salad dressing, 60-ounce bottles, $1.99 each. Come see us at Coons.
So, NASCO Roofing. Here's why I love NASCO. First of all, woman needed a roof and her husband. Horrible situation with the roof. Massive hole on the roof. Massive. No one would fix it. $20,000 plus job. Jerry and Asari, NASCO Roofing, fix it for free. For free. The work is unbelievable. The warranty, the work, the labor, guaranteed. Absolutely the best products, the best staffing, the best pricing, the best service, and they care. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. NASCO, 412-373-2000.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Just quickly, the background here. When we first reported this, we first reported that Kendrick Curtis Jr. Fired 2 shots at cops. We first reported that he was armed. We first reported that an ATF agent fired and shot and killed him in the process of doing his job, and the community went berserk. I had to actually call the mayor and say, are we in danger here? I'm not exaggerating. I mean, people coming at, and look, I'm a big boy. I'm not whining. I'm just telling you this is where we're at here. I'm a racist. These people are killing children. These cops hate black people. It's an awful, awful scenario. And then I hear in the break, in the DA who's been kind enough to join us, Nate Bible, kind of touched on this. So now I confirmed in the break what Nate said, that a Beaver County police officer assigned to the feds who has children in the community has been threatened, and his kids have been threatened. Nate, that's a horrible way for a cop to have to live. And God forbid that his kids have to go to school facing threats, sir. This is horrible, is it not?
It's absolutely terrible. I mean, the officer, is just doing his job. And this officer wasn't even, the shooter in the situation. And his children are completely innocent in this. And for them to have to deal with any of this is absolutely uncalled for. And I feel terrible for them.
So Nate Bible joining us. So you released that video to the public as a public service, actually. Truth is, you could hold that. You wouldn't have to release anything, quite frankly. And we produce it. We show the video. And Nate, as soon as it's out, it's a lie. Where's the other gun? The gun was found at the hospital. He was shot 5 times. He never fired the gun. Why can't I hear flashes? Why can't I? No, the haters out there, sir. My point is, Nate, I think at some point you got to do the best you can do and move on, sir. Yes?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if I could first address, in situations involving an officer-involved shooting, once they're cleared, we don't make any of that public. It's just like if it was two private citizens and we determined it was self-defense, that person's never charged, and we don't make any of that public. But this was a unique situation, with the false narrative out there, with the threats being made to everybody, to a lot of different people, that myself and along with the other agencies thought, this is a good time to to make our, findings public.
Nate, what is troubling, too, is I know that they've been threatening you and stuff like, let's get rid of him, one and done, horrible DA. Why the hell? And I know the answer to this. It goes back years and goes back decades. Why can't we just do our jobs, accept the facts, and heal, sir? Why does there have to be so much rhetoric and tension, sir?
I wish I had the answer to that one, but I knew coming into this office, you're never going to make everybody happy. Although I try, I really do try. I always try to do the right thing, and but the right thing, unfortunately, sometimes upsets some people. And there probably could have been eyewitnesses on the scene that could have told you exactly what happened, and some people still won't believe.
That's right.
I mean, we knew whenever we disclosed this information that people were still going to say, "Oh, that gun was planted." They fired at their own car. Their
gun was found at the hospital. The kid was shot 5 times. You name it, sir. I've read it.
Yeah. Yep. And it just doesn't. It's not going to make a difference to some people. I mean, I can explain it, but I can't understand it for them. So if they, if people don't want to believe it, then they're not going to believe it.
But Nate, I got to tell you, and I know you know this. You know that town really well. You love that community. What the hell do we do to make it easier for folks to understand each other, sir? That's even the bigger question here.
I don't know. And to be honest with you, I know the history, with that community and law enforcement. And I really, and I think a lot of people will tell you that was my number one objective coming into office was, move the needle in the right direction, not just with the crime level there, but with, the relationship with law enforcement. The state police have have a big presence in Aliquippa. They handle a lot of the major crimes. And I feel like they've done a really good job over the last year and a half of mending that relationship a little bit. But there's always that inherent distrust for the police in certain communities. And I don't know how to change it. I mean, we've done, we do a lot of community activities, coffee with a cop. Have police at different, community days and things like that. So you can kind of see them as they are as people. And, it's tough. And that's not everybody in that community. Let's be clear about it. There's a lot of really good, really great people actually in that community that have great relationships with law enforcement. And when major crimes happen, they are cooperative. They do want their community to be safer and better. But unfortunately, that's not everybody.
Beaver County DA Nate Bible, I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your candor, sir. It's refreshing and enlightening and truth, sir. And I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Marty.
It's important stuff.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern. But help is available. Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
58 with cloudy skies at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. In Manchester, England, 2 people have died. 3 others are in serious condition after a vehicle and stabbing attack outside a synagogue. The suspect was killed by police. Jewish people are observing Yom Kippur today, many of them at synagogues. Prime Minister Keir Starmer left a summit of European leaders in Denmark to return to Britain, speaking to reporters at the airport in Copenhagen.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected.
The Prime Minister says additional police are being deployed at synagogues throughout the United Kingdom. A federal shutdown is in a second day, with Republican and Democratic lawmakers unable to agree on a funding bill to keep the government open for another 7 weeks. Kelly O'Grady with CBS Money Watch explains the effect on the overall economy.
EY Parthenon estimates $7 billion a week that the government is shut down to the U.S. economy. I know that might seem like a big number, but it's actually just 0.1% of U.S. GDP growth. So there will be ripples, but we normally do bounce back from something like that pretty quickly.
The shutdown will deprive policymakers and investors of economic data. For example, tomorrow, the job report for September will likely be delayed. Break out the lederhosen. Pittsburgh's Oktoberfest is back and bigger than ever, as News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush reports.
The 10-day party kicks off today at noon with a cake tapping on Fort Duquesne Boulevard, with Mayor Ed Gainey pouring the first beer. Expect bratwurst, brews, and a whole lot of Oompa music. The beer gardens open daily with extra hours on weekends, and the Roberto Clemente Bridge turns into a festival zone, complete with food, games, and a Ferris wheel ride for just $7. This weekend, you'll see wiener dog races, Stein holding battles, and a German car show. Details at Oktoberfest Pittsburgh online. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 43 points at 46,398. The Nasdaq up 82 points, and the S&P is up 2 points. KDKA Radio News Time 10:31. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Hey folks, it's Marty. You want a new physical therapy experience? You want a treatment plan centered on you? Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, is spelled different, because they are different. Monroeville Physical has new technology and an expert staff to give you a personalized experience to get you back to loving your life. Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200. They help me dramatically love physical. Check it out. Hey, folks, it's Marty. In my Get Marty segments, I hear from people all the time that have issues with debt. Check this out. If you're having problems with your debt, my friend Harold Shepley can help you right now.
Absolutely. We are a full-service debt relief law firm. We can help you negotiate your debt so you can avoid bankruptcy, or we can file bankruptcy if that's what's necessary for you and your family.
And the truth is, my man, it's not a hopeless situation.
Absolutely not. We're here to get people back on their feet.
I've seen them win, case after case after case. ShepleyLaw.com.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
Oh, goodness, Marty. We have a couple of accidents and other incidents tying up traffic for you in a few areas. Parkway West inbound, this is a new one. It looks like a couple of vehicles involved just after you pass underneath the overpass by Parkway Center. So heading inbound toward town. We have a vehicle up against the left berm of the road. We do have a directional arrow truck on the scene. Looks like police are on the scene as well. A couple of vehicles over on the right shoulder. It looks like they're trying to get things out of the travel lanes, but in essence, you are getting by in a single lane there, so do take it easy as you're traveling there. You have backups before the top of Green Tree Hill. Very heavy on 51 northbound approaching the intersection with Bousman Street. It looks like we have the remnants of an earlier accident or a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane there. We also have an accident in White Oak on Cypress at Oliver Drives. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Going to be a nice day today. Sunshine mixes with some high clouds for the afternoon. It'll be warm, too, with a high of 76. And for tonight, partly cloudy, 50 to 54. Partly sunny early tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon with a high of 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
All right, here we go. Inching through the week. It's a Thursday. Colin Dunlap with you 2 to 6 here, KDK.
We got to talk about Aliquippa. I have been friends with the mayor for decades and love the mayor. And I've had extensive conversations with him recently about the tension over this shooting. And he is very upset about the death of an 18-year-old, about the rhetoric in the community, and about the danger, quite frankly, to citizens. And the tension with police. Kendrick Curtis Jr., don't know him. I don't know his background. But I heard from his family. They said he was a good kid. One of his closest friends sent me a bunch of information, quite frankly, a young man, and said he was a good kid. And yes, he carried a gun. And that he was turning his life around. And I respect and admire that. It's a horrible loss. What I can't wrap my arms around is the horrific blowback regarding this incident. It's awful. But to hate cops this much, now I get information from the DA and confirm it that a cop who wasn't even involved in the shooting, there were hits out on him. And then this cop lives in Beaver County and his kids have to go to school. And his kids are being threatened at school. So my daddy's a cop, and now you're threatening to kill my daddy and me. Why the hell would you want to be a cop? And then I get that ATF agent is dirty. I mean, it's Patrick. My man, we've been at this a while. The responses, first of all, there are thousands of them. Second, horrifically angry, racist, hate-filled, and violent, and threatening, right?
Across the board.
Right?
Yeah.
And to surprise us, it even kind of threw me back, quite frankly.
Well, even watching the video, there's so many people that question it. And
say it's a lie.
Oh, they say it's a flat-out lie. They say it's been doctored. It was edited. We can say that because they blurred the body of Kendrick after he was shot. But that's the only editing I see on there.
Look, I feel horrible for his family. They lost their son, for God's sakes. I feel horrible for his friends. But there's no way in hell America will ever be okay, or Aliquippa will ever be okay with folks who think this way. I challenge any of you to take a minute and go to my social media on Facebook and read some of the comments. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Here's a woman. He was on the telephone. Okay. He was on the telephone. The bullet isn't coming in an upward direction. The arm wasn't raised high enough to hit the police car. This is another forensics expert looking at the video. Here's another one. There is no flash from the gun. I thought the gun was found at the hospital. No, it was found at the scene. I just don't understand. Look, I completely get. Here's Andrew. He's holding his cell phone to his ears. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. I can't imagine how difficult it would be to manage the shooting of an 18-year-old. I can't. However, the gun was at the scene. The bullet's in the car door. The video shows the young man. But the hatred, beyond the grief and the magnitude of this incident, the hatred in Aliquippa is scary, man. To imagine that a cop who's dedicated his life to protecting those very folks, there's now a hit on him. And to imagine that his kids have to go to school and their lives are being threatened, and Daddy wasn't even at the damn scene. Well, Anthony, I don't know. I lose my faith in humanity at times, and I get the horrific nature of the shooting, sir, but the anger, the threats, the racial remarks, the lies, it's scary, sir, that this occurs, and it's right down the road here.
Well, Marty, here's what you have to understand, and this has been going on time immemorial. You have professional rebel rousers who the video is very clear. The evidence is very clear. And let's be open and honest, folks. We had ATF and the feds in the community because there's a crime problem.
A gun problem.
Yes. It's not like you had some other borough who came over to help Aliquippa and this was that type of shooting. The feds don't do these things unless they have to. Okay, and please, I knew exactly when the family start talking about he turns his life around. That's the standard talk when we have this young man involved with criminality.
Hey, Anthony, let's be clear. Anthony has had incidents with cops. Anthony was a Black Panther. Anthony has been down the damn road. Anthony speaks the truth. Why the hell is there so much hate out there, though? Look, I understand tension. I understand issues between black and white. I understand poverty in that community. I don't live that. I don't have to live that. But I don't understand why you want to put a hit out on a cop who wasn't even at the scene. Now his kids have to go to school living in fear.
Well, look, you have probably the families being whispered in the ear by unscrupulous attorneys. So you have the professional rebel rousers. So the family could temper this all down by saying he was wrong. See, this is how I grew up. When we were wrong, I didn't have my grandfather and father and mother come up and say he was right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. The young man was wrong.
Man, you have had racial incidents involving police where you're treated unfairly because you're black. Fair, right? True.
Well, yeah, of course. But this was the 60s and early 70s.
Yep.
Now, but I also know how structure. The feds don't do this. You shoot at a federal officer, you're going to get shot. It's very simple. But the family could temper this down. Because you know why I know it's professional rebel rousers? Because we had over the weekend 2 innocent people killed in Aliquippa, and you don't hear Pete, do you?
There's a murder-suicide.
You don't hear them talk about that, though, do you?
No.
Oh, but there's been murders. What was that? The young man who was involved with the teacher a few years. I mean, come on, guys. Let's be clear.
But there's a sadness to it that this is where people are living in their hearts and minds, sir. Is there not? It's tragic.
Yes, it's sad that this young man who was living in an environment that he decided to have an unauthorized weapon that he was not allowed to have, and he paid the ultimate price for it. That's what's sad. But sometimes we have to hold ourselves and our family members responsible for their actions. Look, I understand their feelings, but now they've turned this thing into innocent folks may get hurt. They had threats about this with Wilkinsburg. I mean, come on, guys. Sometimes we have to look in the mirror, especially as a black community, and say there are some people among us who need to be in prison. Period.
Can we fix Aliquippa? Can it be fixed? Considering the hate I'm reading about and the Great Divide.
It's up to the community.
Yeah.
You got a black mayor. You got a black leader who works hard every day to try to fix it. But if you have a criminal element that's been coddled, what do you expect? And that's what happens with our criminal justice system. The same activists who say they want to change law enforcement, they want to change the system, are turning some of these criminal elements right back into the communities to hurt the people they say they support.
By the way, it's also why the hell I would never want to be a cop. To imagine this guy, this Beaver County cop who's working with the feds, now there's a hit on him and his kids are at school and their lives are being threatened. I'd be like, honey, call U-Haul. We're getting our asses out of here, man. I'm done with this crap.
Well, hopefully the video, if people want to actually look and be rational, the video is self-explanatory. Maybe, hopefully, that will temper it down. I hope so.
They don't.
Well, that's why I said they're professional rebel rousers, because the evidence is clear.
Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate your
honesty. Brother.
I suggest you take a look at the video, folks. It's on our social. Again, it's a horrible incident. An 18-year-old is dead. But the anger, it's palpable, man. It's incredible. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Marty, we have a live look out over the Parkway West inbound just past the overpass for Parkway Center, and one of the vehicles on scene is dragging a couple of the cars out of the way here from this earlier accident. Traffic has been stopped for about a minute or two on the Parkway West, and now they are releasing traffic to flow once again. But you have backups on the backside of Green Tree Hill as you're trying to head into town, and traffic is moving now in 2 lanes of traffic down past the accident scene, but a lot of folks are still very slow go for you there. Northbound 51 also extremely heavy beginning before Edgebrook Avenue because of the remnants of an earlier accident up by the intersection with Bousman. A lane continues to be blocked there. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 412-960-6205 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205. Or go to freedomcare.com.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
Brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, Visit mnextspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
So, my experience at Diamonds Direct has been magnificent. And I give credit to one woman, Melanie Burke. She's unbelievable. Melanie is the best salesperson in that business I've ever met in my entire life. Melanie, hand-picked, hand-selected, the diamond engagement ring and wedding bands for my niece and her husband. Just got married 2 weekends ago. Insanely beautiful. She's amazing. My wife, my sister, my daughters, amazing. And this month, if you go to see her, Diamonds Direct, no interest on what you buy until 2030. Come on, man. You get that ring, the diamond upgrade, the piece of fine jewelry, no interest until 2030. Wedding bands, fashion jewelry. This is amazing. No interest till 2030. Diamonds Direct, right across from the Ross Park Mall, right across on McKnight Road. Love the place.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Shannon in Seattle asks, my daughter doesn't think she can afford a house in our area. I think she could at least try to shoot for a condo. I still think owning a piece of real estate gives you so much leverage in the long run, like building equity and wealth. But maybe I'm old school. What do you think? Shannon, this is really about what your daughter thinks. If she runs the numbers and she can pull it off without compromising in other areas of her financial life, and she wants to do it, then sure, go for it. Buying a house is always about running those numbers. But again, it's really something that she has to want.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I do the very best I can to kind of paint the accurate picture of what happened. It's why we rely on the district attorney to tell these stories and officers at the scene to tell these stories. And why I talked extensively with the mayor, who I love to death, the mayor of Aliquippa. We go way back, ask him if we're friends. And I'm very sensitive to the anxiousness and the horrible loss of life. But I'm also very sensitive to the life of a cop. I would hate it. I wouldn't want to work in Aliquippa right now. So if you're a cop, they hate you. If you're a cop, you kill innocent kids in their minds, and let's move on with it. And now, people are putting hits out on cops. Well, why would you want to work there and protect the folks that really want protected? I don't know. I can't answer that question. And folks coming at me at this very moment, one of his friends. First you said there wasn't a video. Now there's a video. No, that's not true, Jennifer. We said from day one there was a video. Well, then you said to show it. Oh, and now it's being shown. And she says all the video shows is a cop killing him. That's just not true. Then she says there was no bullet hole. Well, actually there is a bullet hole. Then she says, why did they find the gun at the hospital? Well, they didn't. The gun was at the scene. I don't... Look, I feel bad about this death, and I'm certainly... I just... And then Jennifer makes a threat. Literally, I said, I'm very sorry about what happened. And Jennifer said, I'm very sorry about the things that are about to happen. She makes a threat. So this is where we're at. in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. So the best Jennifer can do, and rather than looking at the facts and accepting the fact that this is a shooting involving a young man who was firing at federal agents, and he was killed. And Jennifer's comeback is, I'm very sorry about the things that are about to happen. Okay? I would be very careful, Jennifer, with your next phrases. I find it offensive and scary, quite frankly. That the best folks can do is now make threats. You know, in many cases, it wouldn't matter what that video showed. There would be folks in the community that hate the cops and somehow would blame it on the cops. Yes, a mother lost a son. Yes. It's horrible. Yes. But to exacerbate the problem in the great divide between cops and citizens by threatening cops and threatening kids of cops and saying, I'm sorry about what's about to happen next, isn't going to help anyone or anything. If the only way we respond to the truth is with lies, then we will never see the truth. And that's sad. I go back to my initial point. There have been surveys done, studies done with jurors. When they show a whole room full of jurors, the exact same car accident, and all of them see someone different to blame for the accident. It wouldn't have mattered if there was slow motion of this incident from 4 feet away. Folks would make up their minds that they hate cops, and cops are killing kids, and that's where we end up. And it's unfortunate. And it makes me sad. Go ahead, Andre.
Hey, what's up, Marty? Always loving the show. The only thing I suggest in these situations that can hopefully cause some of them to not happen, because I feel like, these cops were in an unmarked vehicle.
They were.
So
they always are.
Yeah, but it's possible this kid thought it was some other, other gang rival pulling up, and that's why he opened fire, which caused the tragedy to happen, which is still bad. Don't get me wrong.
Hold on. I got to give him that. I got to give him that. Yeah. No,
yeah.
I got to give him that. Yeah.
In a lot of other countries, the police are always identifiable. Yeah, and here, you got police and you got ICE traveling around in masks and unmarked vehicles.
But according to the video, and you admitted this, I'm not fighting with you. I think you're right on what you're saying. You have a young man holding an illegal gun and firing at a man in a car.
Yep.
It ends up being an ATF.
Absolutely
agent.
terrible.
Yep. And, sir, he identified himself as a federal agent.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't hear any of the audio. All I saw was the video.
There is no audio. You're right again. My man, I can't argue with your observations. But at the end of the day, we have to make better choices as a community and as young men. Do we not, sir?
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the call. And I love his observations.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKARadio.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
If you're concerned about the future, you'll want to hear this. There are more than 1,800 ancient Bible prophecies, many of them pointing to current world events with shocking accuracy. There's one final prophecy that's about to unfold about humanity's future. It will be revealed at this once-in-a-lifetime free event, and we'll unlock precisely what the Bible says about the future and how you can be prepared. Register at hopeforhumanity.info.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 58, cloudy skies at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. 2 people are dead and 3 others have serious injuries after a car and stabbing attack at a synagogue in England. CBS's Holly Williams says it happened in the northern city of Manchester on Yom Kippur, the holiest day on the Jewish calendar.
The police arrived within 10 minutes and shot a man who's believed to be the offender. 4 other people were injured with both stab wounds and injuries caused by the vehicle. Now, according to a local media report, the attacker did not get inside the synagogue itself.
Police shot and killed the attacker. Additional police now being deployed at synagogues throughout the United Kingdom in response to the Manchester attack. In Pittsburgh, the Department of Public Safety says police increased patrols around synagogues earlier this week. Congressional leaders are no closer to an agreement to end a federal government shutdown. Senator John Fetterman, one of 3 Democrats to vote in favor of a Republican funding bill, says a shutdown is never the right thing to do.
It was wrong when the Republicans did this, and now it's the same situation now. It's actually our party that's driving it, and I think that's absolutely the wrong decision.
The next votes in the Senate to fund the government are set for Friday afternoon. A man is facing multiple charges, accused of setting fire to an ATM in Ross Township early Wednesday. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details.
Police and fire crews responded to Chase Bank on McKnight Road, where surveillance video showed a man pouring gasoline over the machine and igniting it. The suspect, identified as Keith Coyne Jr., turned himself in around 6 p.m. Wednesday. According to police, Coyne admitted to the act, saying he wanted to make a statement against the federal government. The gas can found at the scene was marked with an expletive. No injuries were reported. Coyne is now facing 2 charges of arson as well as a charge of criminal mischief. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
2 Delta Airlines regional jets collided last night at LaGuardia Airport in New York. CBS's Chris Van Cleve says a network producer was on one of the flights that had just arrived from Charlotte.
They were taxiing to the gate, and that's when they were struck by this other plane. It was a low-speed collision, no reports of any injuries to passengers, 1 report of a minor injury to a flight attendant.
The wingtip of an aircraft taxiing for takeoff to Roanoke hit the front of the flight from Charlotte. A large part of a wing was ripped off, and the front of the other plane was damaged and a cockpit window shattered. Meijer is coming to Cranberry Township. The grocery chain tells KDKA Radio it is working to bring its first location in western Pennsylvania to a development called Henderson Crossing. This plan includes retail and apartment buildings not far from the future site of a new Wegmans store and Giant Eagle headquarters. The developer is planning to present the proposal at the Planning and Development Commission's next meeting at the end of the month. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow down 102 points at 46,339. The Nasdaq is down 1 point and the S&P down 12. KDKA Sports, 3 Major League wildcard games today. The winners will advance to divisional series play. Detroit and Cleveland play at 3:08. The Padres and Cubs at 5:08. Red Sox and Yankees at 8:08. And on Thursday Night Football, the Rams host the 49ers. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick with their famous lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Over 65 and still on your employer's health insurance? Call One Health Benefits at 724-799-8873 for a Medicare plan that fits your needs. 58 and cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
Mascaro Construction Company is one of the region's largest and most trusted contractors. For 37 years, they have consistently delivered great experiences for their clients, trade partners, and the communities they serve. Mascaro serves a range of commercial and industrial markets, including buildings, power, education, manufacturing, healthcare, and more. From sports stadiums to infrastructure, when you build with Mascaro, you build with the best. Learn more at mascaroconstruction.com.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up, my friend?
We continue to have, Marty, lots of slowdowns on the Parkway West inbound because of an earlier accident. Good news is it's all off on the shoulder as you pass underneath the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp, but it certainly is causing slow-go traffic there. Everybody taking a look at what's going on, so backups greet you before the top of Green Tree Hill, and then again after you pass the accident scene, you're in line right around the runaway truck sand pile before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Trying to make your way to the Liberty tunnels, we continue to have very slow-go traffic around lane restrictions on an earlier vehicle issue there with the left lane still blocked as you approach the intersection with Bousman Street. So you're lining up there right around Edgebrook Avenue. On the north side, heads up, crews working with a vehicle fire on Brighton Road near Jacksonia Street. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with some clouds for the rest of today and warm this afternoon, high 76. Fair skies tonight, low 50 to 54. Partly sunny early tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasantly warm in the afternoon. Tomorrow's high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
National news being made this morning by Teresa Smith. One of my favorite people. She knows that. I know that. You know that. We've known each other well over 20 years. She's an insane leader, unbelievably passionate and compassionate. I go to her a lot when it comes to what the hell's going on in this town. Then I get a tip 2 days ago that she's going to hold what they call a post-agenda. They have these kind of a rap session almost prior to council meetings where they all get together and talk about a certain issue. And then it breaks in Sports Illustrated that this is happening. And they're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this from an insider. Please don't shoot her down on this issue. She's the first sitting elected official to even ask for public conversation about Bob Nutting. This is from an insider. The city, this 100% falls under the purview of the city and our elected officials. We finance the stadium. We will soon be asking for hundreds of millions more for renovations of it. Okay? And so they want to talk about the Pirates and nutting and I guess losing. And now it's in Sports Illustrated, so now there's the buzz on the national shows. And stuck right in the middle of it, whether she wants to be or not, is Teresa Smith. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you, Marty. I'm good. How are you?
So help me out and explain what is this about from the person who's calling what they call a post-agenda.
So the post-agenda is a fact-finding meeting, and it was brought to my attention from a group of people who had really wanted to hear from the Pirates leadership, from their team, from the people that can make the decisions and make things happen. And they really initially wanted to call for a public hearing, which means they would just come down and talk, and it would be no conversation. We would just hear from the people that had opinions one way or the other. And then we had talked about maybe a post-agenda might be a better avenue, a better way to go, so we're actually having a conversation instead of fighting and yelling at one another. It'd be great to have a conversation. And so then we have a lot of revenue, a lot of economic development comes from our sports teams. I mean, the Steelers contribute a tremendous amount to the city, and the Pirates have an opportunity to do the same. And we just want to have those conversations. And
I respect and admire you, but am I wrong here? You're kind of a fish out of water when it comes to this.
Absolutely. Listen, I tell people all the time, first of all, I don't even know Mr. Nutting, and I didn't even know his name correctly initially. I don't know him, but I do appreciate that he owns the Pirates. They kept the Pirates here.
They did.
That he contributes tremendously to our youth sports. And I did run with my husband, and a large amount of volunteers run athletic associations across the city of Pittsburgh, and he contributes to those little league teams, tremendously.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful for what he does for the city of Pittsburgh, and very grateful that he's kept the Pirates here.
And here's my thing. We go way back. This is a group of people, and you know this. They've had billboards around town. They want the team sold, and they've had asking Cuban to buy the team, and that's fine. That political rhetoric and talk show rhetoric. But let me ask you something. As someone who is so full of wisdom about this town, Teresa, if you ask me if the city needs to get involved in whether or not the Pirates would sell, I'd say hell no. I'd say fix the bridges, fix the roads, fix the schools, hire more cops.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you're saying that, because that actually there's a correlation, correct? Right?
Please.
If the Pirates are doing well, and their team is winning, they sell more tickets, they generate more tourism, they get more people supporting our local businesses. That all brings more tax revenue, so that we can fix bridges, hire more police. By the nurse.
Yeah, but blaming the Pirates for the city's problems is kind of unfair.
No, that's not blame. That's not blame. Okay. There's no blame there. It's a conversation. I want to be very clear about this. I have nothing negative to say about the Pirates, Mr. Nutting, or anyone involved. What I have to say is that we have a responsibility to do the best we can for our taxpayers, who are overburdened currently right now, and you know that.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a budget that's put together with a shoestring. And there's ways that we could increase revenue. And the ways we can increase revenue is we are a beloved sports town. We love our sports teams. And our Steelers contribute a lot. Our Penguins contribute a lot. Our Riverhounds, which is a small team, they contribute a tremendous amount to our community. So,
but I could also say that this is this is not Teresa Cale Smith pushing an effort to force Nutting to sell the Pirates. That's fair, right?
No, not at all. But it's a conversation with, how can we help you to invest better in the Pirates, or to do things with the Pirates? Is there something we can do as a city to collectively work together and have a conversation about what needs to happen, so that we can have a winning team in the city of Pittsburgh again, and to make sure that that tax revenue is generated to bring the things that we need done in the city of Pittsburgh, including hiring more police officers, emergency vehicles, and paving roads, and all the things that our residents desperately need.
Hey,
and that their visitors need,
Hey, I got it. Is that today? When is this meeting?
I didn't even schedule it yet, and we're actually already having conversations about it. The Pirates had already reached out, and I appreciate that. So we'll have a conversation next week, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Is it really something that should make national news? Teresa Cale Smith?
I got to be honest with you. I didn't even know that it would. I'm shocked. When I called for the post agenda, I actually said, I'm going to call for this, but I really don't even know what I'm getting myself into. I'm not somebody who understands sports or anything. I ran an athletic association along with my husband, Tom, and with many great volunteers. And we know what they contribute to our youth athletic associations, but that's about it for me as far as I know about the Pirates. They buy the kids uniforms. They support. They give them tickets. They do great things. So I don't want to ever say anything negative about them at all. But what I want to say is, generating a winning team is really something we could should be striving for.
All right, I can't let you go without asking you about this because it's really relevant and you know this stuff so well. Rachel Heisler, verbatim, commenting on the mayor's budget. This is not an honest document. Is that fair?
Well, I don't know. Did she certify the numbers?
She said it's not an honest document.
Yeah, but I believe she certified
his
the
numbers, but suggests that he's way off base in terms of anticipating revenue and maintaining staffing and overtime for cops and massive issues in the city.
So all I will say is I respect the difficulty it is in putting a budget together. So what I'll say is that the numbers were certified. That's what some of the
She
things.
said there are glaring omissions that don't properly account for enough firefighters or for proper investment in the city's aging vehicle fleet. She called the budget simply not an honest document. What do you say?
So then I will say that maybe the numbers should not have been certified, but I don't know what her process is, so she may have a very good reason why she did that. So for that reason, I'm going to be honest, I have a lot of questions about the budget, so I would rather ask those questions before I comment further and know exactly what I'm talking about. And we just started, this process.
Teresa, you're the best. Tell your husband I said hi.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're now a national hero to sports talk stations. Make sure you tell them you're not buying the Pirates, Teresa.
Yeah.
Thank you. Talk to you again.
Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
Woof. A lot of juggling going on. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, Marty, we have the PennDOT cameras still on this accident on the Parkway West. It continues to be cleared from the right shoulder inbound right near the Parkway Center Mall overpass and on-ramp area. Everybody's really taking their time getting past that accident scene. 2 lanes of traffic are moving for you there, but doing so very slowly. So you have sluggish traffic before the top of Green Tree Hill and then after that accident scene down into the Fort Pitt tunnels. Looks like they brought a wrecker to try to yank what appears to be a disabled tanker truck from northbound 51 in the left lane as you approach the intersection with Bousman. You have backups to greet you between Edgebrook Avenue and that particular obstacle, if you will, making your way toward the Liberty Tunnels in just a single lane. On the north side, vehicle fire on Brighton Road near Jacksonia Street. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
At Giant Eagle, we're focused on quality, freshness, and all your favorites. Because meals bring us together. Because recipes keep traditions alive. Because the right ingredients make it or break it. Because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
My sis, Barb, has been fighting this battle with a pancreatic cancer. And the folks at UPMC said, hey, I know you're sick. I know you're in pain. Let's try this chemo. They did. She tried it. Her cancer numbers dropped by hundreds of points. Hundreds. Big, big change. UPMC giving hope. Life-changing, life-saving information.
Planning your next family getaway? Before you click a book on one of those big travel sites, think about this. They add up to 15% in fees. That's money that could go towards dinners out, souvenirs, and another day of fun. At SWAC Vacation Rentals, we believe your money is for your vacation. By booking directly at swacvacations.com, you save that money for what really matters. The price you see is the price you pay. Find your perfect spot and keep the savings. That's SWAC, S-W-A-C-K, vacations.com.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. My guys at Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks specialize in slate. Not every construction company has the knowledge and training in working with slate. I've slated my home. It can get expensive, but it can also last 100 years. Do it right the first time. Call Sam and Calvin to get on their schedule right now. They also specialize in decks and siding. Call thecousins.com. That's callthecousins.com. I trust them. So should you. Callthecousins.com. I talked to Rob Pierce from Robert Pierce and Associates probably twice a week. Seriously. Why? He's so deeply involved, so deeply engaged in so many prominent cases. Just reached out to him 2 days ago about abuse in nursing homes and what we call granny cams. Rob is behind our efforts and supporting our efforts to put cameras in nursing homes. Why? To protect your loved ones. He has represented hundreds of folks whose loved ones have been abused in nursing homes. He's a fantastic man who gives a damn about you. By the way, free consultation. The best experts around. At it nearly 40 years, folks. Insane insight. Amazing track record. Rob Pierce and Associates. 412-844-383-0565. 844-383-0565.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Enjoy breakfast with the Schmutzers this Sunday at 9 a.m. The owners from Metropolitan Window Company join Rob Pratt to discuss Metropolitan's exclusive Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows. Learn more about the fiberglass window difference this Sunday at 9 a.m.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Take your banquet to a higher level at Lamont. Celebrations, holiday parties, fundraisers, and weddings. Lamont accommodates 250 guests. No room fees. Call Bill Laughlin, Lamont's banquet manager, to reserve dates for your special occasions. 412-431-3100.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm a big fan of Teresa. As you can probably tell, I've known her for decades. She's honest, hardworking, kind, considerate. Let me give you an example of how much she cares. So there are these morons, and I mean that in the nicest way. And Patrick saw some of these videos because we posted them. These idiots were going on to Mount Washington with their idiotic cars and doing these insanely dangerous donuts, like crazy middle of the night stuff. Dangerous. And thought that was funny. And that's her thing up there. That's her part of her area, Teresa. She sent a very terse note to the cops saying this has to stop. She got involved immediately. Now all the people that live up there are ready, this has to stop, and what the hell's Teresa doing, and we're going to shoot more video. I didn't get one video. Not one person in that community did what the hell they were supposed to do. Guess who did it? Teresa. Teresa. And the truth of the matter is, The truth of the matter is that she gives a damn. And the truth of the matter is, so she had cops up on Mount Washington that weekend, and the crap stopped. And now people have peace of mind. I can give you example after example after example of her getting in the middle of things in her community and making a difference. The Pirates, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. What are we going to do? Sell the Steelers because they haven't been to the Super Bowl? I mean, honestly, man. The Pens because they haven't won a cup? Where do we draw the line? The Pirates draw a lot of people to this town. They just do. People spend money here. Do they win? No, they don't. Do I wish they would win? Yeah. Does throwing money at it make a difference? Ask the New York Mets. They did not make the playoffs, and they spent like, I don't know, $400 million. Some guy worth $30 billion threw all the money in the world at the Mets, and they still sucked. I am not a baseball guy at all, but neither is Teresa a baseball person. And she's giving these folks a forum to complain about the Pirates, and I guess that's okay. It's kind of what we do in this town. People put up billboards, sell the team. That's their business. I don't have a horse in that race, man. Nutting owns the team, man. They pay all their bills and then some. And I've been over there, man. There's a lot of young people over there watching those games. I mean, it's a hell of an environment. The stadium rocks. The food's great. It's a really nice team. Should they win more? Yeah. They have the greatest pitcher I've ever seen, Paul Skeens. I hope they win the series next year. But I ain't lining up. I ain't lining up to sell the Pirates. And I'm just not. And as I said to Teresa, and I mean this, one of my boys from Mount Washington, Teresa had the cops there from 8 to 10. The stuff starts at midnight. I don't see any videos that you said you were going to send us. I don't see any action happening up there, and I don't have any reports from cops. She did more than you did, Robbie. My man. As I said to Teresa, fix the bridges, fix the roads, hire some cops, find some cash flow, clean up downtown. I mean, I'll give you a list. Fix the schools. Come on, man. Hire an arborist. You got one arborist to cut every tree in the whole damn city. Come on, man. Hire some plumbers. Turn on the water fountains. Fix what you got broke, and then you can move down the street and try and fix other things you think are broke. Just saying.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a fine fall weekend is shaping up with a lot of sunshine around on Saturday at a high of 78. Saturday night will be clear and cool with a low of 53. Perhaps a touch warmer on Sunday with sunshine, some clouds, and a high not far from 80. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. So we're helping you with deals on top brands like Scott's, Pit Boss, Cobalt, and Trex Decking. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, fall is the perfect time to get outdoors before it gets too cold. That's why AARP Pennsylvania is teaming up with the Allegheny Land Trust for a free walking series for adults 50 and older. Now, there's one coming up on October 24th from 5 to 6:30. It's a spooky, haunted history hike at Dead Man's Hollow Conservation in McKeesport, but you must register in advance at aarp.org/local.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonihan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 58 and cloudy at 11:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. In Manchester, England, 2 people have died and 3 others are in serious condition after a vehicle and stabbing attack outside a synagogue. The suspect was killed by police. Jewish people are observing Yom Kippur today, many of them at synagogues. Prime Minister Keir Starmer left a summit of European leaders to return to Britain and spoke to reporters at the airport in Copenhagen.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected.
The Prime Minister says additional police are being deployed at synagogues throughout the United Kingdom. That is also the case here in Pittsburgh, where police increased patrols around synagogues earlier this week. A federal shutdown is in a second day with Republican and Democratic lawmakers unable to agree on a funding bill to keep the government open. Kelly O'Grady with CBS Money Watch explains the effect on the overall economy.
EY Parthenon estimates $7 billion a week that the government is shut down to the U.S. economy. I know that might seem like a big number, but it's actually just 1/10 of 1% of U.S. GDP growth. So there will be ripples, but we normally do bounce back from something like that pretty quickly.
The shutdown will deprive policymakers and investors of economic data. For example, tomorrow's jobs report will likely be delayed. State troopers are searching for a missing pilot in Indiana County. 75-year-old David Whitmer took off in an ultralight aircraft last night from a field in Young Township and failed to return. Investigators believe Whitmer and his aircraft are in a 2 to 6 mile radius of the field. He is 6'1", weighs 180 pounds, and has gray hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. On Wall Street, the Dow down 112 points at 46,328. The Nasdaq is up about 20 points now. The S&P down 12. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:31. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Make 380 Auction to Murraysville your next stop for discounts and bargains. Trucks come in every week. 380 Auction has name brand furniture, fall moms, also tools, birdseed, automotive supplies, pet supplies, lawn and garden, toys, food, and new items arriving daily. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132 or log on to shop380.com and save.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is a couple of bits of good news. An earlier accident on the Parkway West inbound is still off on the shoulder of the road, but traffic is getting past it a little bit better than it had earlier. And so you still have some slowdowns on the front side of Green Tree Hill, but it looks like some of the vehicles involved have finally left the scene there. We do get reports just now coming into us of an accident on the 100 block of Commercial Street in Bridgeville, with crews rolling up on the scene of an accident there. Earlier, disabled vehicle finally has been yanked from the intersection of 51 northbound near Bousman, so delays in that area are easing off, but you might still find some residual slowdowns. With the AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be pleasant with sunshine and some high clouds. Our high temperature 76 and partly cloudy tonight, though 50 to 54. Partly sunny tomorrow morning, then mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon, high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna, is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
When I tell you this, believe me. When I heard this Hegseth stuff, in my head I'm thinking we got to get Jeff McCausland, the colonel, because my man will know. And I'm going to grab him in a second. He's the smartest guy I've ever met about military stuff, ever. And I want to play these clips from Hegseth, and then I want to get the colonel in here. Listen.
And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. If you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the Joint Force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our Joint Force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already.
Okay, and it went on and on and on about women and acronym, what is it, FAFO, manly, macho stuff. Retired Colonel Jeff McCausland is the man. Worked in the White House, has been in battle, was the Dean of Academics in the U.S. Army War College. In other words, he knows his SHI, and he joins us live. Colonel, good morning, sir. How are you?
Marty, I'm very well, and you're way too kind.
Oh, no, man. You're Babe Ruth in my world. I really could not, and I mean this, I told my wife, I got to call Jeff. I could not wait to get your take, because your take is the take I'll take. Give me your take, sir, on that whole macho, we got to do better thing.
Well, let me start with your tape, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning. And what he talked about really was nothing new. I mean, I'm sorry, at his direction, we're going to have PT tests twice a year. I've only been doing this national security stuff for about 50 years, Marty. We've been doing PT tests twice a year for 50 years.
Oh.
Okay? We're going to do height and weight standards twice a year. I think that's been in effect about 35 years.
Oh.
So these sudden announcements are nothing new. Now, you certainly might argue, and perhaps you might say that I have information that those particular requirements not being enforced, we need to tighten ourselves up. Yeah, okay. But there has never been any presentation by the SecDef, the chairman, or anybody that I've seen that says we have solid evidence that these standards are not being enforced by the military. So then I go back to the beginning, and my beginning question for the SecDef is, why did you have this meeting? I mean, it's unprecedented is not the right word. Again, I've only been doing this 50 years. I don't recall any SecDef chairman, president, or whatever bringing all the general officers, all 800, and their sergeant majors, so 1,600 people together to give them this kind of a harangue. And in many ways, I would call it a harangue, not listen to them, but lecture to them. And this coming from a guy who, let's face it, spent a couple of years in the military as a National Guard major and was in combat, and I respect that. But he's talking to a room full of people who, on the average, have over 30 years service, multiple combat tours. Many have been wounded. All have buried soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. All have lost friends. And he's going to lecture them on the warrior ethos. Really? And furthermore, think of the cost of all this in terms of millions and millions of dollars, what kind of a security problem it was to have all those generals and the Secretary of Defense. Sorry, you're still Secretary of Defense. And then bring the president in to do this kind of a speech, which seems to me could have been done and using a video teleconference pretty effectively. But they wanted a big national event, and they wanted, as one person described it, in my opinion, the mother of all photo opportunities.
Colonel, you have been in battle, sir. You have led men in battle. You have worked in the White House. If you were in that audience, would you have been offended, sir? Offended as a man who's lived this?
Yeah, I would have. I would have been offended. Again, because most things he was saying we're already doing, number one. And number two, he basically summarized at the end as a political speech by saying, if you can't buy into the direction we're going, then you ought to resign. I fear that many guys and gals left that particular meeting asking themselves that question. Either A, can I continue to take this, or should I now step aside and retire? Or B, am I just going to put my head down and work as hard as I can and hope that this all kind of goes away sometime in the very near future? And number C, I'm really worried about that the command I've got is a 90-hour-a-week requirement in a combat zone, perhaps if you're in Europe or in the Middle East, and you brought me all the way to Quantico, Virginia to talk to me about haircuts and beards.
He said we're going to kill you violently. We're going to be violent. We changed our name to the Department of War because we're going to kill you all. It's this puff out your chest thing, Colonel. This effort to make the military more manly was my vibe, and to basically tell women, if you can't cut it, get the hell out. Right?
Well, I think that's true, and that worries me also, because he talked about, more specifically, rules of engagement, and we're going to loosen rules of engagement. He did. Now, I'm an old man, okay, and I remember back to the Vietnam War, and loosening rules of engagement resulted in Lieutenant Cowley and his platoon executing a whole hamlet full of Vietnamese. And we have to acknowledge that particular fact. And I'm quite confident that the allusion he was making, frankly, was to the military operations we have recently conducted in the Caribbean against these Venezuelan boats, in which we've sunk 3 boats and killed about 17 people. Now, ostensibly, they were drug smugglers. I haven't got a great, love for those particular people if that's what they were doing. But there's 2 problems. One, there's been no real proof that that's what they were doing. One of the boats was heading back to Venezuela. The Secretary of State said one of the first ones they sank was actually not heading for the United States. People who are experts on international law, the laws of land warfare, humanitarian law, will tell you that is against the international law. And we, the United States, prosecuted a guy by the name of Carl Dunitz, who was a German submarine commander, for sinking civilian shipping in international waters and killing civilians without warning them in advance, which is required under international law. And so all the officers that conducted those missions could be held responsible because we Americans do not accept the argument that Germans presented at Nuremberg that I was only following orders. We don't do that. So every officer who conducts those operations has got to be considered to himself or herself what responsibilities I have.
Colonel, the Wall Street Journal said, fine with your macho speech, but we don't have the weapons. That's the issue. The ships, the tanks, the guns. Is that accurate, sir?
Well, it depends for what. And I think then you go to Mr. Trump's speech, which I found also, frankly, worrisome because Mr. Trump rambled for over an hour talking about White House stationary tariffs, how much he dislikes Joe Biden.
Walking down the
Barack
stairs.
Obama. Right, you know. And I'm sure many people found that enjoyable. His supporters, that's the same sort of speech Mr. Trump gives pretty routinely to his supporters on a regular basis. But he didn't read the room too well because those 800 officers and 800 sergeant majors sat there in stone silence because they believe that they have sworn an oath to be apolitical and sworn an oath to a constitution, not a president. I thought it was kind of stunning that the President of the United States should say, you know, you can applaud if you want to. I mean, that was a little bit embarrassing, quite honestly, Marty, to tell you the truth. Yeah. But then the president went on to say, hey, we're going to need you to fight the enemy within. We're going to use American cities as training grounds for warfare. Yeah. And that gets back to your question, Marty, because it seems what we're going to see coming out in the very near future is a new national military strategy issued by the Department of Defense. I'm sorry, it's still the Department of Defense because that's the legal name. And that strategy will emphasize homeland security. So our military forces are going to be engaged in cities. The president talked about them going to Chicago and going to Portland. Our military is going to be involved in picking up illegal immigrants in the United States. The military is going to be involved at the border. All missions contrary to civil-military relations, posse comitatus laws, and the like. Our military is going to be involved in interdicting the waters in the Caribbean from drug cartels. We're going to build Golden Dome to protect the United States. And so money follows policy. And if that's the primary emphasis, which is strictly defending the homeland, then you're going to create a very different military than one that you're going to project power to defend U.S. interests globally, whether that's in Europe, China, or someplace else.
You know, before you go, Colonel, I got to tell you, I had a bunch of veterans call in, and they loved the macho speech. They loved the get in shape speech.
Well, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they loved it, sir. They loved the attack on women. They loved it, sir. It's time to man up. So is that how veterans really feel?
Well, some of them certainly do, but there's been no evidence that I have seen or heard from people I serve in service that any of this is true, that there is this big woke culture that he accused the senior leadership of having.
Dresses. Yeah,
right. I mean, is there in all organizations, I don't care if military or civilian, does every once in a while the boss kind of have to tighten up standards and make sure our systems are, yeah, absolutely. And that might well have been appropriate. But I think that could have been done in a whole lot better fashion than kind of a public, berating of them.
Oh, he did. He beat them down, man.
And then finally, of course, I mean, in that regard, 2 points. One is when it comes to females in the military, hey, listen, we have different standards. The standards for an airborne ranger does not need to be the standard for a cyber warrior in the 21st century.
Nice.
18% of the military force today are female.
Nice.
We cannot perform our mission without women. Let me say that again. The U.S. military cannot perform its mission today without women. Full stop. Okay? And I really worry that some of the comments made by Mr. Hegseth and the president, quite candidly, about females in the military, and frankly about other groups, African Americans, for example, are going to discourage recruiting and retention in future by those high-quality individuals. Now, I've talked to a lot of veterans as well. I've talked to a lot of women serving in uniform right now who are, major lieutenant colonels, sort of 15 to 20 years service, a lot of younger females I've known from my time at Annapolis and West Point who are junior officers. And every one of them I've talked to said in the aftermath of not only this, but what's happened before, their full intent is to leave the military at the earliest possible moment.
Wow.
And so I think over time this will affect recruiting and detention. And then finally, of course, the president's remarks about that making American cities, into war training areas. The American military and every officer and senior NCO in that room believes they swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States and not to a president or a party. They believe they are the defenders of the American people. They believe they are the servants of the American people, and they do not attack the American people in their homes. Obviously, everybody's in favor of law enforcement. Certainly you and I are,
Yes,
without question. But that doesn't mean we use the American military for that particular requirement.
If someone has interest in finding the truth, check out this man's resume. It's formidable. My man, truth to power, brother. You're the man.
Take
Thank
care,
you, sir.
Bye-bye.
It was amazing. Just amazing. He is the man. I don't care what you think. That is the man. Check out his resume. He's seen it twice. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
We continue to have very heavy traffic on the Parkway West. Marty, earlier we had an accident on the right shoulder inbound as you're headed toward town on that area near the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp and the overpass. And even as they've gotten things cleared out of the way there, everybody's still very slow go. You have delays that greet you before the top of Green Tree Hill all the way down to and through those Fort Pitt tunnels. Slow traffic getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge as well, coming from the Fort Duquesne Bridge or from the bathtub section of the city. No accidents or problems for you there, just a little bit sluggish at times. Parkway East on the inbound ride is slow for you between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 412-960-6205 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205. Or go to freedomcare.com.
All right, here we go. Inching through the week. It's a Thursday. Colin Dunlap with you 2 to 6 here, KDK.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Dave & Buster's. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's powered by Bowser Chevrolet and brought to you by Diulis Law, First National Bank, and by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Meijer is coming to Cranberry Township. The Business Times has learned that Meijer is working to bring a 159,000 square foot Meijer store to be part of a new plan called Henderson Crossing in Cranberry Township. The local development firm Alphabet City Company, led by Tony Dolan, introduced the proposal to Cranberry's Planning Advisory Commission on Monday evening, a day before Meijer announced its plans to set up shop in the Pittsburgh area without divulging where. Ron Henshaw, the Director of Planning and Development Services for Cranberry Township, confirmed the basics of the proposed deal at the Monday evening meeting, adding that Meijer is the principal tenant for the project. Also, River Life, the Pittsburgh-based nonprofit that has spearheaded millions of dollars in investment in the area's riverfronts since its start in 1999, is launching an historic comprehensive campaign. The campaign is the largest fundraising effort in the organization's history, looking to raise $30 million in total. It's titled 3 Rivers, 1 Loop, and it aims to fund the first phases of River Life's Completing the Loop vision plan. The plan was formulated by the organization in an effort to create a connected system of trails and parks along Pittsburgh's 15 miles of riverfront. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm having peanut butter. It sounds like I have a big sponge in my mouth. The reason why I had to get McCausland on the phone because the stuff with Hegseth is fine if you're into working out, which I am, as you all know, and it's fine that he's in shape, and that's all well and good. But man, I had to get a guy that's lived it. He's been in battle, man. He's led troops in battle. He's seen men die. And he was one of the most respected advisors in the White House. He's a legend. And in summary, what he says, Hegseth said, sucks. He just did. He said, we already have. I didn't know that stuff, Patrick. Did you? I didn't know that they already had physicals. I didn't know that and the colonel's connected. He said, and see, I don't know all those generals sitting out there. He said that this aggravated the hell out of them. Hegseth pretty much said the military sucks and we're saving it. And McCausland said he's wrong. And they're ready to go today, and they always have been and always will be. I love him. From one of my closest friends, who is the smartest man I know, Ron Layton, served 4 presidents, and is well aware of the colonel's career. He's one of the best military analysts in the world. He's spot on. You can't talk about hunting and killing the enemy in one breath and saying the same military should use U.S. cities as a training ground. Very worrisome. These young soldiers don't make much money to begin with, and now they're not getting paid. Great damn idea. That sums it up. And whether you like it or not, it's the truth. And I knew I'd get the truth from the colonel. The rhetoric from Hegseth is fine, and his tattoo wearing, his slick back hair, and his bespoke suits are fine. But at the end of the day, the men and women that serve, man, they're amazing people. They don't get paid jack. And what he said about women is insanely relevant. What did he say? 20% of the military? And now they're saying, to hell with this. They don't want us here? We'll leave. And we need them desperately. Look, man, 100 women, even if you want to dispute their physicality, 100 women have made it through Ranger School. Try that. Most men couldn't even get through the second day. And so I respect and admire the colonel with his 20 minutes of truth to power. Magnificent.
The KDKA mobile news fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Stressed about owing over $10,000 in back taxes? The IRS isn't slowing down, and neither is Tax Hardship Center. Last year alone, the IRS wiped out over $163 million in tax debt for thousands of hardworking people. If paying back the IRS threatens your finances, you may be eligible for hardship programs that could let you settle for a lot less. Everyday Americans are finding relief right now by calling Tax Hardship Center. You've been thinking about this. The time to act isn't tomorrow, it's today. Grab your phone and call now for a free consultation to find out every option you have for lowering your IRS debt. Dial 800-301-9260. With increased IRS collections, now is the best time to see what tax relief programs you may qualify for. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you have options. Call now. 800-301-9260. 800-301-9260. That's 800-301-9260.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20. And we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions with big news from Hunter Douglas. Free motorization is back by popular demand. For 1 week only, October 13th through October 21st, receive free smart automation on all blinds, shades, and shutters from Nest Expressions. Call 724-933-5500 or book online. NestExpressions.com.
Some restrictions apply.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
67 with partly cloudy skies at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. 2 people are dead. 3 others have serious injuries after a car and stabbing attack at a synagogue in England. CBS's Holly Williams says it happened in the northern city of Manchester on Yom Kippur. It's the holiest day on the Jewish calendar.
The police arrived within 10 minutes and shot a man who's believed to be the offender. 4 other people were injured with both stab wounds and injuries caused by the vehicle. Now, according to a local media report, the attacker did not get inside the synagogue itself.
And the attacker has been, police say, killed. Additional police are being deployed at synagogues throughout the United Kingdom in response to that Manchester attack. And in Pittsburgh, the Department of Public Safety says police increased patrols around synagogues earlier this week. A Pittsburgh City Councilwoman has become the first elected official to ask for a public conversation about making the Pirates a competitive team again. Teresa Cale Smith is calling for what's called a post-agenda, a fact-finding meeting before City Council where formal discussions would take place on Bob Nutting and his ownership of the franchise.
I want to be very clear about this. I have nothing negative to say about the Pirates, Mr. Nutting, or anyone involved. What I have to say is that we have a responsibility to do the best we can for our taxpayers who are overburdened currently right now, and you know that.
Smith tells Marty Griffin earlier on KDKA Radio nothing has been scheduled yet, but the Pirates have already reached out. They're looking to have a conversation sometime next week. A pedestrian struck by a vehicle on the south side early this week has died from her injuries. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has details.
The incident occurred just before 1 p.m. on Tuesday at the intersection of Sydney and South 28th Streets. Police, fire, and EMS responded to the scene where the unidentified 70-year-old woman was found with serious head injuries. She was transported to a nearby hospital in critical condition, and city officials have now confirmed she later died from her injuries on Wednesday. The driver involved remained at the scene and fully cooperated with investigators. In the coming weeks, the city's Vision Zero fatal crash response team will conduct a site visit as part of its standard review process to evaluate contributing factors. Tamira Resch, News Radio KDKA.
Well, due to the dry weather, construction projects have been extended, and AAA's Jim Garrity is cautioning drivers right now, pay attention to construction signs and zones.
When you see those construction signs that are up, they are not decorations. They are there for a reason. They're well thought out. They're placed exactly where PennDOT in this case has deemed that they should be placed. And that means that you need to obey those rules because it can be life and death.
On the Big K Morning Show, Garrity also said aggressive driving is not only dangerous, but contagious. Meijer is coming to Cranberry Township. The grocery chain tells KDKA Radio it is working to bring its first location in western Pennsylvania to a development called Henderson Crossing. That's not far from the future site of a new Wegmans store and Giant Eagle headquarters. The developer is presenting that proposal to the Planning and Development Commission at the end of the month. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 53 points at 46,388. The Nasdaq is up 58 points, and the S&P is down about 5. KDKA Sports, 3 Major League wildcard games today. The winners will advance to divisional series play. Detroit and Cleveland play at 3:08. The Padres and Cubs at 5:08, and the Red Sox and Yankees at 8:08. And on Thursday Night Football, the Rams host the 49ers. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. TrustPJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 12:04. 67 now, partly sunny skies in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast next.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be pleasant with sunshine and some high clouds. Our high temperature 76 and partly cloudy tonight, though 50 to 54. Partly sunny tomorrow morning, then mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon, high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Make 380 Auction to Murraysville your next stop for discounts and bargains. Trucks come in every week. 380 Auction has name brand furniture, fall mums, also tools, birdseed, automotive supplies, pet supplies, lawn and garden, toys, food, and new items arriving daily. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132. Or log on to shop380.com and save. If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It's actually kind of cool to have Olga George here. We go back at least, 20 years. She's with the mayor's office, obviously, kind of runs the show. And I love her because we've gone at it over the years, and it's always fun. And I told her this. She's sitting here. She won't talk, but she has a passion, and most people don't. And I love her. I'm glad she's here. And she brought the deputy mayor. Jake, how are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing, Marty?
Fabulous. Let's talk budget.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're already getting picked on.
Comes with the job.
Right. And we'll get to that, but ostensibly it's all over the headlines. Basically, Rachel Heisler comes in and says this budget is a lie, in essence. And we'll get to that. But let's talk. We have him for a half hour, so let's talk in general terms about the budget that exists and staffing and tax increase possibilities, and go.
Sure. So, look, since 2022, first year Mayor Gainey was in office, when we proposed our first budget, we saw that the years 2025 and 2026 would be trouble, right? They'd be difficult problems we had to solve for. That happened in the course of the budget negotiations last year, and here we are in the second year of it. A year ago, roughly today, we predicted what this year's budget was going to look like in terms of what was going to come in and what we'd have to spend. The budget we released yesterday was less than $1 million off of that target. So we're about where we expected to be when we've been saying this will be a challenge. Some things have changed over the course of the year. We were able to save a little bit of money on health care. We had to add some more money to the capital budget to pay for construction projects. So we've had to shift some things around, make some cuts. But by and large, this is the tricky year we thought it would be. But it's a problem we can solve with the proposal we put out, which doesn't cut any core services.
See them.
Doesn't rely on any layoffs. And most importantly, doesn't include a tax increase. We think that we can do that with a little bit of belt tightening, and penny pinching. And that will put the city on a sustainable path, not just for next year, but for the next 5 years.
Jake Pollock, so council members, I'm going to use a couple of phrases. They call the budget unprofessional, called it sloppy. I talked to several council members who, in essence, said it's a lie. You're underestimating staffing, way underestimating overtime. Rachel Heisler, the city controller, said, and I quote, that this is simply not an honest document. In essence, saying it's a lie. Tell me why, sir.
Well, I think you should have her on to talk about that. I'd be happy to come back and talk about it with her. But the honest answer is that there are no lies in this budget. There are some hard truths, right? Which is that as a result of a court decision about something called the common level ratio, which basically says how we calculate property taxes, the amount of money we can bring in property taxes is going down every year. That's going to be true
dramatically, sir.
Right. It's down $20 million since that started. And that's going to continue being true until there's a reassessment. There are a lot of ways that could happen. There's a court case about it. Really, I think we need the state to say we should do them more often, but that's not our department. All I'm saying is that'll be true until that happens. However, there's no dishonesty in the budget. And some of the things that the controller and others are pointing to are things that they don't understand about how the budget works.
So the notion that you don't supply any or even close to enough money to replace these crappy vehicles, that doesn't.
We actually added a page to the budget this year that shows all of the vehicle purchases we're doing from different sources of funding. Before, you had to look, how much are we doing in the capital budget? How much are we doing in the operating budget? How much are we doing from the parks tax? So that led to a lot of that confusion. We put it all in one place so you can see it. It's about 50 vehicles.
Yes.
We should be doing more.
We should.
But this is more than we've done in the past, and it's what we can afford while balancing the scales of not increasing taxes or cutting other essential things. We are cutting spending, about $3 million in non-personnel spending and 50 unfilled positions. So we have made cuts to make the budget work and put more money into things like vehicles.
Hey, Jake, I got to be honest. You guys are getting spanked, too. I mean, considering what's happening in Harrisburg, considering what's happening in D.C., then you lose the jock tax, and then the assessments. In all honesty, your job sucks. No, because, my man, you got $8 going out and $5 coming in. I mean, honestly, my man, this could be cataclysmic at some point in terms of out versus in, sir.
There'll be
Is that fair for me to say?
There will be certainly, the cost of running a city is growing faster than the revenue we bring in. Again, the biggest thing that leads to that difference, because the cost is only going up about 3% a year. Right? That's not in the private sector, in other industries. That's not an unreasonable amount. But the problem is we've got some limits on revenue growth that are not about what property prices are. They're about what a court order is saying about how we calculate it. Again, if that were addressed, I'm not saying we'd be, rolling in money, but I'm saying the picture would look more stable. Having said all that, we can still run the city and its core services within the resources we have right now. And some of the claims about why that's not true in this budget are just not right. Overtime goes up and down. It fluctuates. Right? At the end of this year, when we've had significantly more overtime than we originally projected, it's only about $2 million extra dollars than off of what we projected out of a $700 million budget. Right? That's we can save that somewhere else, and we will by the end of the year. They've said that we didn't account for enough firefighters. We have a union contract that sets the number of firefighters. Right now, we have a little bit more than that because of the timing of when people retire versus when people come through the academy. That's not a precise science. It's a bit of an art to do the timing on that. So we got some extras right now. We have a plan with Fire Bureau leadership and with the union for how we'll do a slightly smaller class, bring the number back down to the number we've agreed it will be in the union agreement. So that's the number we put in the budget. They don't understand how our collective bargaining agreements work, frankly. So they're making an issue where there isn't one.
Jake Pollock joining us. Hey, Jake, I know a lot of cops. I mean, it's kind of my thing, and I love them, and they work hard. If you ask any cop on the street, they don't like this job right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, and I see it every day downtown, there's never enough cops around. And they say that two things have to happen. They have to get a dramatic raise, and you have to hire at least 200 more. If I'm looking at the numbers, and you tell me I'm wrong, sir, there is no way in hell either one of those things can ever happen in Pittsburgh. No way. No way you can pay cops in this town what they're paying them in Mount Lebanon or the sheriff's office or county, which is over $100,000.
So there's a lot of pieces to that answer.
There is.
In the last contract we did with the police, which is the first one in over 20 years, where we were able to reach an agreement without going to arbitration, they got on average a 19% raise, which was well-deserved because they had not been getting raises for a long time.
Still puts them about 20,000 less than cops 5 miles away.
Well, what happened, it brought them closer initially because we based that number off of what they were making everywhere else.
Yes, sir.
We bumped ours up 19%. Every place else gave their cops raises.
They did, sir.
Because they like...
I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying when the rubber hits the road, this sucks.
I know you're not picking on me. I'm explaining to the residents what happened, right? Those other forces, they like the fact that we run an academy where we train high-quality officers, and then after they've been with us for 3 years, those other folks can hire them. So, yes, we're chasing wages in other municipalities. It's tough. But we did make a big progress in closing that gap in the last contract. We're in a contract negotiation right now. At the moment, the police union has walked away from the bargaining table and wants to go to arbitration. That's their right. Because of that, I can't tell you where it's going to land.
But there's no way you can bring on another 200 cops. You just can't, sir. And you could never pay them $100,000 ever. Right?
We are about to launch what we think will be the biggest academy class since the since the pandemic, since the academy was closed. We think it will get us close to what has been the target for a number of years, which is getting back to 800, which is a challenge.
Jake's here with us, and he's been kind enough to join us. We come back, and I'm not sandbagging him on any of this stuff. There's rumblings of a massive, is the word being used, a tax increase that could come in the next couple of years. I got to ask him if that could happen.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum recognizes Pennsylvania's combat veterans who have received medals for gallantry. With this Hall of Valor moment, here's the curator of Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum, Michael Krause.
Sergeant William J. Sweeney of Allegheny and Cumberland counties was awarded the Silver Star Medal for gallantry in Normandy on 7 June 1944. While advancing forward, Sergeant Sweeney noticed a wounded officer lying in an open field 400 yards away and braved intense enemy fire to rush to his aid. After administering treatment, Sergeant Sweeney returned over the fire-swept area to assist in the evacuation. Sergeant Sweeney's action undoubtedly resulted in the saving of the life of the wounded officer.
To nominate a qualifying hero for the Hall of Valor, please contact Tim Neff at 412-621-4253, extension 219, or visit online at soldiersandsailorshall.org.
Feeling it yet, Pittsburgh? The chill is in the air. The gray skies are on the way. This year, make winter an adventure for a change. Escape to the warm sand beaches of St. Thomas and the Florida Keys, or hit the fresh ski slopes at Deep Creek Lake. Whether you're chasing the sun or the snow, SWAC Vacation Rentals has the perfect place for your crew. Don't just get through winter, make it unforgettable. Book your getaway at SWAC, SWACK vacations.com.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
So, NASCO Roofing. Here's why I love NASCO. First of all, woman needed a roof and her husband. Horrible situation with the roof. Massive hole on the roof. Massive. No one would fix it. $20,000 plus job. Jerry and Asari, NASCO Roofing, fix it for free. For free. The work is unbelievable. The warranty, the work, the labor, guaranteed. Absolutely the best products, the best staffing, the best pricing, the best service, and they care. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. NASCO, 412-373-2000.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Some big news. Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers and threats ahead for those who stand for truth. Charlie wrote this in his last published work, the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat. Authored by Pastor Lucas Miles, Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America. Charlie said you must read, internalize, and share this book. It has the plan to stop the wokeism infecting America. Already a #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available wherever books are sold. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online now to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com. Millions are tuning into Newsmax on all major cable systems. They're downloading our free Newsmax app on their smartphones. And they're getting Pagan Threat to see Charlie Kirk's final words. Go today to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com.
CBS Eye on Veterans from connectingvets.com. Navy veteran Manuel Gomez went from prison to earning a master's degree and then went on to found the organization Vet Phoenix, where he now helps other veterans get a new lease on life after their incarceration.
One of the most important things with somebody coming home from incarceration, so it's very similar to the military.
Marty Griffin here.
The #1 thing that you need to stabilize is a home. Once we take care of your roof, we can take care of everything else. For us at Vet Phoenix, we knew that we didn't want our veteran brothers to be exploited. We knew that they needed a culturally tailored support and that they needed experts who understood how to navigate their benefits post-incarceration.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Jake Pollock, Deputy Mayor. Hey, Jake, do you resent Rachel Heisler saying that your budget is simply not an honest document? I could paraphrase and say she's calling it, and thus you, a liar. Honestly, she's saying it's a lie. Is that fair, sir?
I don't resent it, Marty. No, but it is not true. Okay. Right? It's a honest assessment of where we are, what the challenges we actually have are, and a proposal for how to solve them. You can solve it other ways, right? We could cut more spending than we need to and lay off city employees who are doing excellent work, providing services to our residents. I don't think that's responsible. We could raise taxes, which we don't need to do. If we make some reasonable cuts. And so, it is an honest reflection of how we navigate through a particularly tight spot next year and keep things sustainably funded for the next 5. We think that's our responsibility, particularly on our way out the door. As others are going to take the helm next year, they're going to have to make choices about 2030 and beyond. They're also going to make their own choices about what to invest in and maybe what to step back from. It's our goal to have something that works, that gives runway to the leaders of the future to make their own calls.
What about the notion that you're blowing out any reserve fund? You're putting us very close to the precipice of being broke in that regard.
Yeah, again, that's been raised for several years, and it's greatly exaggerated, right? So the controller herself at the Economy Club of Pittsburgh last month acknowledged that we're not in any imminent danger of going into Act 47, a claim that she and others had previously been making.
Yes, sir.
It's true that to navigate the next few years, we are tapping the reserves. The reserves are, coming out of COVID, were the highest they had been in decades, right? So we have reserve funds available. We can't rely on that forever, and that's why I mentioned earlier, right? Something has to be resolved about the common level ratio and the downward pressure on real estate taxes.
For folks who need translation there, that's all in relation to assessments. And downtown Pittsburgh has been rocked.
Yeah.
Buildings that were worth $250 million are now worth $120. I mean, it's crazy what's happened, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, in every city, every major city in the country has that problem.
It has
because
happened.
When people went to remote work, they didn't come back in the same numbers.
No,
so
sir.
everyone's looking for a smaller office footprint. A lot of businesses, that are in downtown are moving to offices in the Strip District, which is great still in the city.
Yep.
Some moving to the suburbs. We don't fault them for that. But they're not using the same kind of real estate downtown. And as a result, those prices are coming down. We've put in place strategies to help address that, too, by using more of those buildings. Can't use 100% of it for housing, but to use more of it for housing. Because one way we're different, the hit that downtowns are taking is the same everywhere. One way that Pittsburgh's different is we didn't have many people living downtown when other cities did.
Yes, sir.
So they're not getting hit as hard because they still have apartment buildings, they still have restaurants. We got to bring some of that here, and we've already allocated, dozen $1 million, to that stuff between state and local support.
Hey, I don't want to run out of time here, and it's important, considering what he's talking about with assessments. And if you look at revenue, and then you talk about public safety demands and vehicle demands, very little money for paving, new roads, bridges, all these massive, massive costs. I'm being told that people are literally saying we could see a big tax increase, like the one Innamorato did, which was close to 40% in the city of Pittsburgh in the next couple of years. Is that possible, sir?
It depends on how long we go without some resolution to the assessment question and, what you want to spend the money on, right? I think because the assessments are going down every year until there's a resolution there. So the longer that goes on, the bigger a tax increase to get out of that hole would eventually be if it's not solved. I again, all I can say is, look, we went into this budget, as we've done each one, with an open mind, saying that a tax increase might be necessary because unlike many other places in the Allegheny County, we look out 5 years by law. Most places are only looking at the next year. We said, if it looks like we can't make it work in 2030 without a tax increase, we'll consider one. But we found a way to get there without it. Now, next year, they're going to have to look out to 2031. The year after that, they're going to have to look to 2032. If the property tax revenue keeps coming down, they may have to make that decision. I don't think it's 40% anytime in the next 5 years. It would be a smaller amount. But that also depends on factors that we won't be able to see for a few years. We don't think it's necessary now, and we think that if a timeline is established for the assessment question, it may be avoidable entirely.
You have a hell of an attitude for a man who always gets accused of misleading the public. I love your attitude, man. It's not easy, your job. Does it wear you down, man?
It can.
Yeah.
It can be tough, but
it can be, man.
Look, I love this city. I've lived here my whole life.
Of course.
I'm grateful every day.
I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying you have a tough job.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and I appreciate you recognizing it. I'm just saying that for me, it's worth it to get to serve the people of the city that I love and have lived in my whole life, to do this work even when it's hard.
I appreciate you coming in here and sitting down, and appreciate you bringing Olga, because she knows I'm afraid of her, and if I do something wrong, then she'll... Well, you don't want to see that. Thank you, my man.
Yeah. Thanks, Marty.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, head dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. PNC Supply. In-app only.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 70 degrees at 12:30. I'm David Ballarado.
This just in. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Altoona pilot who had been reported missing by state police has now been found dead. Police say 75-year-old David Whitmer's ultralight aircraft was found crashed in the field along Coal Run Road in Young Township this morning. No foul play is suspected, and state police are investigating Whitmer's death as an accident. Pittsburgh Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith wants to hear from the Pirates' leadership about making the team competitive again. The team finished the season with a losing record for the 9th straight year. Cale Smith is calling for a post-agenda before council to have a discussion about team owner Bob Nutting. She tells Marty Griffin on KDKA that she doesn't want to say anything negative about the Pirates or of Nutting, but she says a winning team is generally something that everyone should be striving for.
If the Pirates are doing well, and their team is winning, they sell more tickets, they generate more tourism, they get more people supporting our local businesses. That all brings more tax revenue so that we can fix bridges, hire more police.
She says she's already heard back from the Pirates and is hoping to have a conversation next week. Some big changes are on the way for the Hill District. Pittsburgh City Project Manager Steve Alderman says the city has received $14 million in federal funds to improve safety for pedestrians, transit riders, and motorists in the Hill.
So we're making safety improvements, realigning some of the streets so that they're easier for people to use, going from 5-way intersections to more like 4-way intersections.
And he tells the Big K Morning Show the funding will also be used to repair sidewalks that are in bad shape and to beautify the neighborhood. On Wall Street, the Dow is down. It's currently lower by 33 points, but the Nasdaq is 51 points higher. The S&P 500 dropping 4.5. KDK Radio News Time, 12:32. Our next update's at 1. I'm David Ballarado on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Last month, my business cash flow got tight. Sales were slow, invoices were late, and payroll was coming fast. My business is everything, and people rely on me. I can't let them down. I applied online at lendseek.com and had business funding in 24 hours.
Business moves fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Whether it's lines of credit, term loans, working capital funding, or revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply now at lendseek.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. And take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning too. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com. Save big today.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Going to be a nice day today. Sunshine mixes with some high clouds for the afternoon. It'll be warm, too, with a high of 76. And for tonight, partly cloudy, 50 to 54. Partly sunny early tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon with a high of 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Don't miss it as we once again honor 5 individuals doing extraordinary things in the Pittsburgh community during our Hometown Heroes event at Rivers Casino, Wednesday, October 15th. Former Steeler and NFL Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis and innovator and visionary Lucas Pyatt will receive our Lifetime Achievement Awards and some surprises, too. To purchase tickets, go to KDKARadio.com. Hope to see you there.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Roofing Company.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Texts and alerts. There has been a plane crash, and the state police are on it. A small plane crash. Apparently, there's a death. Plane crash from a small airport, and about a mile from the airport. And we'll stay on top of it, but it's a developing story. I've been getting updates and texts during the show. And we'll let you know as this thing evolves here in Pittsburgh. This one's outside the city. Obviously, it's looking like Indiana County. We'll let you know the details as they come in and as this story develops. It's tough. Regarding Jake Pollock, people don't like him. They say they're lying, that he's cooking the books. I don't know enough about it. But just my engagement with him, he's hardworking, very honest, a public servant. Rachel Heisler, completely admire and respect her. Completely. And so we're going to have to find out. They're splitting hairs here. At the end of the day, we'll find out as this evolves. I certainly hope that we don't have to raise taxes, but that's what I'm hearing. And it's a really tough thing to do when you have an economy that's in trouble, if you know what I'm saying. This is, again, on this plane crash, I wanted to update you. Guy was doing touch and goes. Young Township. An experimental craft. They found the plane and 75-year-old pilot. Young Township. It crashed in an Indiana County cornfield. All right. Ultralight aircraft along Coal Run Road, found about 11 o'clock this morning, less than a mile from where the pilot took off. They're investigating the death. 75-year-old pilot, David Edward Whitmer, practicing touch-and-go landings, took off from the field between 6 p.m. and 6:30, did not return last night. His truck was found near the field with his cell phone inside a nearby camper he was using. Then about 11 this morning, they found his ultralight aircraft in a corner. This is all just coming in, Indiana County. That's tough. We will provide you any new information that we get as it comes in. Summing up what Jake was saying, I don't know him, actually. He has a very good reputation. He's very intelligent, obviously. He's a numbers guy, obviously. And the budget they present is no different than the budget we hear all the time out of D.C. Democrats say one thing, Republicans say another. In this case, it's all Democrats because we have no Republicans. And Gainey's Democrats say the budget's legit and clean and no tax increases. Outsiders say they're full of it. It's full of lies and misconceptions about overtime, hiring, vehicle purchases, hiring cops, public safety, development, new housing, asphalt, roads, bridges, you name it, there's just not enough. I just don't think Pittsburgh has enough growth. And I think we need leaders who are going to push development and growth in this town so that we're not constantly talking about downsizing. We're not constantly talking about layoffs. We're not constantly talking about budget cuts. I think the only way we flourish is when we say, hey, new building, hey, new jobs, hey, new investment. Until that happens, we're screwed. And until that happens, you're shifting deck chairs on the Titanic. My man Mike Sully, the assessment guru, basically says we need a new assessment. Okay, that takes 7 years. It just does, 5 to 7 years. In the meantime, what? Huh? In the meantime, we cannot build our future on cuts and layoffs and assessment and decline in revenue. We have to find men and women with big ideas who want to create hope and opportunity in our town. And you know, folks, I use downtown as an example. We can't have politicians telling us downtown is wonderful when it's not. You know, Kevin Ackland's my man. We go way back. Could have been born in the same damn house. You know what Ack said? If I was running things, I would power wash every street in this town on the first damn day and go from there. I would not allow the grime to continue downtown. I would put every single cop. I would call Kevin Krause today from the sheriff's office because he volunteered. And I would tell him, Kevin, come on, brother. We don't need the National Guard. We'll put them on every corner in this city. I don't know if you were listening yesterday, but Kevin Ackland came on here and told a horrifying story. The Ack grew up here. Oakland guy, Harvard grad. Brilliant. He was walking on Smithfield, right? Yeah. And he sees someone high as a kite, zombied out, as we call them, physically attack a young girl and her dog. Clear blue, mid-afternoon downtown. And Kevin Ackland had to stop that assault. That can't happen. Ever. Ever. Or the county employee who was carjacked by a homeless woman on 2nd Avenue. To hell with that. I'm going to start walking downtown live, showing you the grime, pointing out the problems with leaders. Anthony Coghill, first up, Monday, live. Join us. Pat Catena, City Council President, live. Join us. Folks, we ain't stopping till it stops. At the end of the day, we have to point out the problems and fix them. Make Pittsburgh great again. It can be done, but we all got to do it. And we can't hide it, and we can't lie. We have to have hope and promise and opportunity, but it has to be safe. It has to be clean to start with.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 412-960-6205 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205, or go to freedomcare.com.
When I need to look my best, I trust Laramore's. They just customized my new suit, the fit, the style, the confidence. It's unmatched. Discover the difference of Laramore's men's clothing. 249 Fifth Avenue, downtown Pittsburgh. Thanks, Laramore's.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A big bounce back for sales of Teslas in the third quarter. Deliveries up to more than 497,000. That's 7.5% higher than the same period a year ago, well above Wall Street estimates. And it's thanks to a rebound in China, where it faces a lot of domestic competition, and a rush of sales in the U.S. before the $7,500 federal tax credit for EVs expired. Shares of Tesla down about 2.5%, though, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks are mixed, mostly lower right now. They lost a lot of earlier gains on threats from the White House about firing thousands of federal workers. Could happen as soon as today to try to pressure Democrats to help end the two-day-old government shutdown. Right now, the Dow and the S&P are down just a small fraction. The Nasdaq is up 0.25%. And Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway making it official. It'll pay $9.7 billion for Occidental Petroleum's OxyChem unit, which makes chlorine for treating water, calcium chloride for icy roads, and more. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
There are a couple things about the budget that are just not realistic. The notion that they can maintain this current status of public safety. And he even pointed out that the car thing, they need $100 million in vehicles. That's no lie. That's no exaggeration. $100 million. They're not even in the ballpark, man. You know, I think not even 10% of that, as Patrick points out. I mean, paving, I think they got like no money for paving new streets for 2 years. I mean, look, I respect that they're juggling knives, man, and it's kind of tenuous, the financial situation. And as I suggested with assessments, it's been a nightmare. It just is. It's a nightmare. But and you can't cut your way out of it. You just cannot. You can't lay off your way out of it. And it's the same argument I had with Innamorato raising taxes in the county. You're taxing people that are already broke. I mean, you're disincentivizing people to want to live and work here. You have to make it cheaper. You have to beg people to come here and live and work, and you have to have affordable housing. And I'm not talking about low-income housing. I'm talking about affordable housing, middle class. I seriously said to Jake, and ask him if you see him, I said, my man, you personally can't buy a house in this town. It's true. Until I can show you neighborhoods in Pittsburgh, middle-class neighborhoods with nice houses, not beaters in bad neighborhoods where you have to have completely gut it and have a gun out the window. No, I'm talking about legit homes that you can buy if you make $100,000 a year. That doesn't exist here. It just doesn't, man. And Someone's going to have to fix that. And the only way you can do that is growth. Period. New revenue. Period. I had asked Jim, who's been at this for decades, and I respect and admire his intellect. He worked. I mean, how long were you in government?
Close to 40 years.
And how many times did you crunch numbers like this?
Many times. I mean, when I was with the county, we had to cut a budget from $55 million to $32 million and do the job.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I'm more than familiar with this.
So they're kind of there. Are they not, Jake? Jim? Sorry, man. I'm losing it.
That, I don't know. It looks to me like some funny math.
But they all are.
Well, yeah, they all are. Like let me give you an example.
Yeah, please.
The mayor looks like he's cutting all this money out of his particular office. But what he did, he just moved them to different departments under different venues. So, what are you really cutting?
But you also have told me the same thing that I'm saying. This is where I hear this stuff. Is the only way we work our way out of this is we got to grow, man. We got to grow.
Yeah. This whole notion of trying to turn your downtown business district into neighborhoods, it looks nice. Okay, you filled the buildings, but we were the #1 corporate headquarters in the country. You cannot get tax money from taxpayers to pay the freight for bridges and roads and public safety. You can't do it. You need these corporations to weigh in. And the only way that this city's going to grow is for the new mayor to sit down and call a summit of all these nonprofits and all these corporations and say, look, I'm going to turn you guys loose, build the city like Dick Caligiuri did years ago, and then we'll benefit from what they do, because without them, we're not going anywhere.
Yep, it's true. I mean, Jake, I keep calling you Jake because he just left there. Jim, if any of the guys I know, for them to do what they should do in terms of cops and the streets and public safety and cars, they're going to have to raise taxes, right? At some point.
And I listened very carefully to what Jake had to say. If everything stays calm and everything stays the way it is, yeah, in theory, you could get through it. But that's not what happens. Something's going to happen. There's always something. And public safety is where it always happens. You're going to eat that overtime budget up in 3 months.
True.
And then what?
And then what?
There goes the reserve fund.
The reserve fund.
You can't do it. You're up against the wall here. So where are you going to get the money? If I were the new mayor, I would go to the nonprofits and I would say, look, you guys created the Pittsburgh Promise. Create me a fund with $100 million, a public safety fund. You benefit it as much as we do.
I agree.
Keeping your employees safe. That's how you do it. And get that off your plate and then go from there. Because there's no other way to do it. You can't tax your way out of it.
No way, man.
You can't.
No, that's just – everybody loses their will. The hope goes away when you raise taxes in the county than the city. Then we become that town.
And here – you just hit the nail on the head. Here's the rub. People are already getting weighted down by what the county's doing to them.
That's right.
So now you're coming with the city. So you're going to start seeing more and more for sale signs in the city.
I agree. We need hope.
And the
nonprofits. And by the way, I know these guys. They'll do it. But they all got to get in the room together, and they all got to play along.
You got to sit down and make a pot of coffee for guys that own the golf building, your friends, and people like that. They're the answer to this.
I agree.
That's it.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
All right, bro.
Love him. He actually is one of my favorite people, and he actually gets it. And we can't be known as, that's that broke Rust Belt town. They just keep raising taxes. Yeah, they suck there. No, we can't do that. All right? All right.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I have too many bills with high interest rates. What should I do?
Use your home equity. With a Dollar Bank home equity loan, you can consolidate everything into one fixed monthly payment with a great rate. Plus, get up to 90 days until your first payment is due.
You can do that with home equity?
Yep. Our loan expert helped us through the whole process.
I can breathe easier already.
Talk to a Dollar Bank loan expert today or visit dollar.bank/borrow. Dollar Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Interest continues to accrue during the 90 days and your monthly payment and loan APR may increase.
A great opportunity with October savings awaits you at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. All natural boneless pork loin chops. Buy one, get one of equal or lesser value for free. Red, green, or black seedless grapes are $1.29 a pound. And selected varieties of Kraft salad dressing, 16-ounce bottles, $1.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. USDA choice boneless top sirloin steaks, $8.99 a pound. And oven-ready Coons stuffed chicken breasts, $3.49 a pound. In the produce department, new crop Pennsylvania red delicious apples, 5-pound bag, $3.99 each. Haas variety avocados are 88 cents each. In our deli department, pub-style beer cheese dip, $4.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Di Fratelli pasta sauce, 24-ounce jars, 2 for $4.
Great opportunity in October to save at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 73 degrees at 1 o'clock. I'm David Colorado. News is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. For all your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. State police say the pilot they'd been looking for since last night has been found dead. 75-year-old David Whitmer of Altoona and his plane were found crashed in a cornfield along Colt Run Road in Young Township in Indiana County around 10:30 this morning. The death is being investigated as an accident. A Pittsburgh council member is asking for a public conversation about making the Pirates competitive again. News Radio KDKA's Paul Rasmussen has that story.
Teresa Cale Smith is calling for a post-agenda session, a fact-finding meeting before City Council for discussions about Bob Nutting and his ownership of the Pirates. The team finished the season with a losing record for the 9th straight year.
I have nothing negative to say about the Pirates, Mr. Nutting, or anyone involved. What I have to say is that we have a responsibility to do the best we can for our taxpayers who are overburdened currently right now, and you know that.
Cale Smith told KDKA's Marty Griffin nothing has been scheduled yet, but the Pirates have reached out and are looking to have a conversation sometime next week. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
It's day 2 of the federal government shutdown, and there's still no deal. Democrats say they're trying to stop a GOP spending plan that they say could raise health care costs for many Americans, while Republicans argue Democrats are holding up the government for health care protection for undocumented immigrants, a claim they say is not true. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill with how both sides are navigating the shutdown.
Every time we have seen the Senate vote on this package, and keep in mind the House has already approved government funding through November of this year, November 21st to be precise, and so that is the bill that the Senate has put forth at least 3 times now, but it has not been able to reach that 60 vote threshold.
A pedestrian who was struck by a vehicle on the south side earlier this week has now died from her injuries. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has details.
The incident occurred just before 1 p.m. on Tuesday at the intersection of Sydney and South 28th Streets. Police, fire, and EMS responded to the scene where the unidentified 70-year-old woman was found with serious head injuries. She was transported to a nearby hospital in critical condition, and city officials have now confirmed she later died from her injuries on Wednesday. The driver involved remained at the scene and fully cooperated with investigators. In the coming weeks, the city's Vision Zero fatal crash response team will conduct a site visit as part of its standard review process to evaluate contributing factors. Tamira Resch, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow and the Nasdaq are heading off in opposite directions. The Dow is currently lower by 32 points. The Nasdaq, however, is up 55 points. The S&P 500 is down a little more than 4 points. KDKA Sports, 3 Major League wildcard games today. The winners will advance to divisional series play. Detroit and Cleveland play at 3:08. The Padres and Cubs start at 5:08. And then the Red Sox and Yankees will play tonight at 8:08. On Thursday Night Football, the Rams host the 49ers. KDK Radio News Time 1:03. It's currently sunny around Pittsburgh and it's 73 degrees. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
If you're concerned about the future, you'll want to hear this. There are more than 1,800 ancient Bible prophecies, many of them pointing to current world events with shocking accuracy. There's one final prophecy that's about to unfold about humanity's future. It will be revealed at this once-in-a-lifetime free event, and we'll unlock precisely what the Bible says about the future and how you can be prepared. Register at hopeforhumanity.info.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with some clouds for the rest of today and warm this afternoon, high 76. Fair skies tonight, low 50 to 54. Partly sunny early tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasantly warm in the afternoon. Tomorrow's high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Brides love Lamont's Simple Elegance Wedding Package. $99 per person till December. $109 for 2026. Select 4 appetizers, soup or salad, 3 entrees, wedding cake, and 3-hour bar. Lamont, 412-431-3100.
My dad served in Vietnam, the 82nd Airborne Division. He never talked about it, and my mom knew not to ask. So Dad buried himself in work and self-medicated and would lose his temper sometimes. Loud noises would put him on edge. It got rough. So I finally said to him, Dad, you gotta get help.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern, but help is available.
Dad finally went to VA for one-on-one and group therapy and got some really great tools to help him manage things. And I got my dad back.
Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I like that. Cool. If you need me, give me an email, getmarty@kdkradio.com. I talked about this woman's house on the north side that we were in, and it's collapsing on her head. And we're going to try and help her. All the ceilings collapsed. She could die in that house, and we can't allow that. So I have some of my boys actually over there at 1 o'clock shooting a drone shot of the roof, see if we can fix the roof and go from there. But we got to help each other, folks. And there's no way. This poor woman, who is 84 years old, weighs about 70 pounds soaking wet, and could die in her house. The electric was out. She didn't know what happened there. I opened a door and the ceiling came down. I am not, a piece of plaster fell on my head. And the upstairs, I told her, don't ever go up there, because it was completely collapsed. There ain't no way a Pittsburgher should live like that. We got to help her. And you know what the poor thing whispered to me when I was leaving? Hey, Marty, I have $3,000. I said, ma'am, you hold on to that. And then she said one of the cutest things I've ever heard. You want to go across the street and have a drink at the bar? It was one of the cutest things I ever heard in my life. Love Pittsburgh. We got to help each other. Meantime, I wake up and see this stuff out of LaGuardia. Man, these two planes colliding. Listen to these CBS stuff. Listen.
We have two CRJs on mic that collided.
This morning, investigators are looking into why two Delta regional jets made contact while taxiing on the runway Wednesday night just before 10 o'clock. One bound for Roanoke, Virginia. The other just landed from Charlotte, North Carolina.
And you guys did clip, correct? Yeah, we did. Their right wing clipped our nose and the cockpit. We have damage to our windscreen and some of our screens in here. We have engines running still.
Sources familiar with the matter say the wing of the departing plane struck the fuselage of the arriving aircraft. No passengers were hurt, but sources say one flight attendant suffered minor injuries and was taken to the hospital. Everyone else was safely escorted off the planes and bussed back to Terminal C. CBS News producer Joey Annunziato was on one of those flights.
It was like a pretty violent collision. At the time, we didn't really know kind of what we hit, but almost what it sounded like was like a sardine can kind of opening. Like it was like something was being sheared off, and lo and behold, we looked out the right side of the plane, and the wing looked like it was almost like off the plane.
Annunziato says he's fine and thanks the crew on board for keeping everyone calm. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, the FAA, and NTSB are now investigating what led to the low-speed collision.
Wow. Wow. All right, so I had to call my cousin. My cousin Rick is, first of all, one of my favorite people on earth. His father was a legendary pilot, and so is Ricky as he begins to talk. So you know, for perspective, my man flew the 810 Warthog. That ain't no plane that's 40,000 feet up in the air, sitting in a black box, having snacks, and dropping missiles from 8 miles high and going back to work. That's a man who can see the eyes of the enemy. Right, cuz? Is that not true, cuz?
Yes, that's very true. How are you, Marty?
And you flew those in battle, did you not, sir?
We did, back in Gulf War, 91. Long time.
But it's a hell of a mission, and you're a hell of a man. So, but he is also an expert. How many times have you flown into that airport, by the way, LaGuardia?
Good bit. That's not normally where we go. Newark is where we go, but this is about the same.
And so help me with this. How's this happen, brother?
I didn't catch that. Was that day or night?
That was last night, 8:30.
So night. So it was night. Oh, so the sun. Okay, so it wasn't even quite dark yet. Just about getting dark.
Yeah.
I don't know. How does that happen? Boy, there's a lot of moving parts all the time. You never. You got to have your head on a swivel. You should know the parameters of your airplane, the wingspan, and where it's going to, hit and what's not going to hit, stop if you run into issues. That's what that's what we're trained to do. But apparently, accidents do happen. It's unfortunate.
So
someone, they weren't paying attention for sure.
So Rick, does someone not tell him, hey man, look to your right? I don't know how this works.
Well, yeah. If you're in the left seat, like I fly in the left seat, so I can see far left, I can't see my wing though.
Oh.
Some airplanes you might be able to, I don't know. And then the right seater, the co-pilot, she's looking out the side, and I can't see what they're looking at, so you got to trust each other when you're clearing right and left sides, so.
But there's no one in the tower saying, hey man, stop. No one?
Oh, Marty, I mean, you got 30, 40 airplanes out there taxiing around.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that happens so quick. They don't have time for.
Wow.
No, they're making sure traffic goes where it's supposed to go, and we're supposed to make sure we hit something.
Wow.
You know.
Okay, so help me with this. Aren't there electronics, my man, like beep, 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 like the backup cam on my Genesis? Huh?
No, no, we don't have stuff like that on the ground from the cockpit's viewpoint.
Oh.
You're just looking out the window. That's all, you know.
Wow.
It's like driving in a parking lot, you know, you don't see someone when you're backing up. Well, of course, we don't back up. But, you know, accidents happen in parking lots. You wonder why, you know, but
so
paying attention.
So, LaGuardia, any special circumstance or risk?
Well, no, it's the same as any big airport, busy airport. I mean, you're pulling off runways quick. People are taxiing. I mean, you really have to pay attention. Obviously, I mean that's what we get paid to do. I mean, and accidents do happen, but in this case, I didn't see the details, so I don't know. You know, sometimes when it's pitch black, it's more difficult, obviously, at night.
I'm not trying to be an idiot here, but I have a Genesis, and my man, it has like 13 cameras. Patrick, how many cameras does your car have, your Tesla? How many?
6 cameras.
6 cameras. Do the new jets, the newer jets, have this kind of stuff, brother?
No, they really don't.
Wow.
The newer ones might have one in the rear for loading purposes. The 787s. I don't know. I don't fly those airplanes. I'm flying an older model, MD-11. But the newer models, I know that some have cameras in the back, but we don't use. I mean, you don't really use them other than for loading, making sure all the doors are closed and whatnot.
Well, that's amazing. I had no idea that you were on your own. That's why I love you. So he has 2 sons at flight the same way. Have they had any near misses like this?
Actually, my son flies for a 135 operation, one of my sons. And
what is that? I apologize. What's a 135?
It's 121, they're FARs, Federal Aviation Regulations.
I see.
It's just a different part of, different chapter.
I see.
If you will. 121 is with the American Delta.
I see.
United.
I see.
They fall under those rules like we do. Part 135 and Part 91 are different. So he flies for a different type. He flies millionaires around, one of those kind of operations. Yeah. And smaller jets. But he was looking out his right window, and the captain, his wing clipped another wing, but they were being marshaled from a guy on the ground. So they were following his instructions, but they still hit a wing.
Wow.
So, I mean, things do happen. You're asking about my sons.
Yeah.
And that's the only experience they've had.
Are you surprised it doesn't happen more?
I'm sorry?
Are you surprised it doesn't happen more, cuz?
It happens more than you think, Marty.
Oh, wow. My man.
It really does.
I see.
But
I see now why. I had no idea. My man, you are the absolute best. The Warthog, I'm telling you, look it up. My man is the best. I saw some of the videos, and we'll stop it at that. It was compelling as hell. All right, brother, hug those kids.
Right.
How many kids do you have?
We got 7 here at the house.
See,
7 around the house.
My man is the best. Tell your dad I said hi, brother.
All right, man. Good. Thanks.
Fantastic pilot. Amazing, amazing, amazing man. An incredible father, and really knows what the hell. And has 2 sons that are pilots. Cool stuff.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career. Ew. Or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
So, my experience at Diamonds Direct has been magnificent. And I give credit to one woman, Melanie Burke. She's unbelievable. Melanie is the best salesperson in that business I've ever met in my entire life. Melanie, hand-picked, hand-selected, the diamond engagement ring and wedding bands for my niece and her husband. Just got married 2 weekends ago. Insanely beautiful. She's amazing. My wife, my sister, my daughters, amazing. And this month, if you go to see her, Diamonds Direct, no interest on what you buy until 2030. Come on, man. You get that ring, the diamond upgrade, the piece of fine jewelry, no interest until 2030. Wedding bands, fashion jewelry. This is amazing. No interest till 2030. Diamonds Direct, right across from the Ross Park Mall, right across on McKnight Road. Love the place.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a fine fall weekend is shaping up with a lot of sunshine around on Saturday and a high of 78. Saturday night will be clear and cool with a low of 53. Perhaps a touch warmer on Sunday with sunshine, some clouds, and a high not far from 80. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. So we're helping.
Get 800-791-1313. 800-791-1313.
Here's what I love about Oakmont Bakery. So Mark Sorreo is the bakery king. JK is the restaurant king in Oakmont. So JK turns 60. Guess who made him his cake? Mark Sorreo, Oakmont Bakery. The cake was bespoke, handmade, homemade, anything JK wanted. I love the fact that two men that work so hard that make Oakmont such a wonderful place can celebrate JK's 60th birthday. Oakmont Bakery, where everything is delicious.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint, Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the social media blowback from the truth we told about Aliquippa, from Drippy Dej. I never met you and hate everything about you. You're dumb, old, white. I'm reading verbatim. This is where we're at in America. You're dumb. You're a dumb, old, white, racist B-word that will soon croak one day. And I hope it's sooner than later. The hatred you have toward African-American men and women is sick and disgusting. Drippy Dej. Thank you. This is for telling the truth. And another guy says that I say we too much. In other words, by me saying we, I agree with law enforcement. Okay. Okay. But I do agree with them here. I have to, because it's the truth. Camera doesn't lie. The facts don't lie. I find it disheartening. And again, as I've stated many times, I find it disheartening that by telling the truth, I'm an old white racist, and this woman hopes that I croak. And another woman said, you better worry about what's about to happen, which I would consider a threat, right? Yeah. Yep. This woman says, I'm sorry about the things that are about to happen. News people, including you, are a-holes, liars, and very inconsiderate. This is all from Aliquippa. after we showed the video and the police reports and told the truth. I don't know how you win. I don't know where you go with that. Hear this woman. DA Nate Bible is a crock of S word and very stupid. So she has no respect for me. She has no respect for law enforcement. She's threatening me, right? Right? Saying, I'm sorry about the things that are about to happen. This is where we're at. I don't know what you folks want me to do with that, but I'm not hiding from it. I'm certainly not afraid of it, but it makes me sad that there is no reasonable dialogue. Now, Anthony says these are rabble-rousers. Okay, but there's thousands of them. In my world, that's bad. That's bad for Aliquippa. Because if everybody that comes into Aliquippa, you thinking they're racist and they hate black people and the cops are out to kill you, and if this is how you decide to live your life, you're done, man. The hope train has left town. You know, the Charlie Kirk video. People have spent the last several weeks dissecting it, showing people in the crowd. They don't want to believe the truth. It's a conspiracy. He's set up. And my point is the video clearly shows what happened, but no one wants to believe that either. And people want to use that to set off different emotions around the country. I hate you, you hate me, I hate Republicans, I hate Democrats, I hate liberals, I hate conservatives. And it festers and fosters this hate. And hey, look, I did not live in Aliquippa. I have not seen that kind of violence. I get it. However, I also got to say this, that I have lived 7 lives and seen everything. And I have seen folks, innocent folks, who were hurt in these communities. I have. And I've seen folks who have died in these communities, young people. And this young man was 18 years old, and it's hard to take. And I get that. But man, to respond by saying, you're killing our children, he didn't have a gun, you shot him 5 times, there is no video, I'm going to kill you, I hate the DA, I hope you die. I just don't see how that benefits anyone. It was, ironically, Martin Luther King, the greatest civil rights leader in history, and I use this all the time, who wrote this, and I live by this: nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. He lived it. The lies about him, the conspiracies, the folks who wanted him dead. Seriously. It's not healthy. And I spoke to the mayor of Aliquippa, who I love. We've known each other 20 years. He's one of my favorite people, and he feels this. He gets it. He's like, Marty, I don't know what to tell you, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to calm people down. We are at war with ourselves. And as long as you have war with yourself and hatred on your own streets, you will never, ever find peace or success. You can't. If you spend your life angry, you will die angry and alone and angry and alone and angry and alone. Kind of how that story goes, and it breaks my heart.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh body repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050. 50-50.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Some big news. Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers and threats ahead for those who stand for truth. Charlie wrote this in his last published work, the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat. Authored by Pastor Lucas Miles, Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America. Charlie said you must read, internalize, and share this book. It has the plan to stop the wokeism infecting America. Already a #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available wherever books are sold. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online now to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com. Millions are tuning into Newsmax on all major cable systems. They're downloading our free Newsmax app on their smartphones. And they're getting Pagan Threat to see Charlie Kirk's final words. Go today to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 73 degrees at 1:30. I'm David Bollerado. Police have made 2 arrests after a man went on a stabbing spree at a synagogue in the UK, killing at least 2 people and injuring several more. Authorities are calling it a terror attack, and it comes on the holiest Jewish day of the year, Yom Kippur. One London man says it's an aimed attack.
Well, it's not good, is it? It's like Christians having this kind of thing on Christmas Day or Easter. It's just an attack aimed specifically at that kind of person.
A Pittsburgh City Councilwoman is making national headlines for her efforts to get involved with making the Pirates more competitive. The team finished the season with a losing record for the 9th straight year. Teresa Cale-Smith wants to have formal discussions regarding Bob Nutting and his ownership of the Pirates. She tells Marty Griffin on KDKA that she doesn't know Nutting personally and has made clear that this is not an effort to force him to sell the team, but she says she wants to send the message that having a winning team again would generate tax revenue.
If the Pirates are doing well, and their team is winning, they sell more tickets, they generate more tourism, they get more people supporting our local businesses. That all brings more tax revenue so that we can fix bridges, hire more police.
No date has been set for the post-agenda session before council, but she says she's already heard back from the Pirates and is looking forward to having a discussion with the team. A man facing multiple charges accused of setting fire to an ATM in Ross Township early Wednesday. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has more.
Police and fire crews responded to Chase Bank on McKnight Road, where surveillance video showed a man pouring gasoline over the machine and igniting it. The suspect, identified as Keith Coyne Jr., turned himself in around 6 p.m. Wednesday. According to police, Coyne admitted to the act, saying he wanted to make a statement against the federal government. The gas can found at the scene was marked with an expletive. No injuries were reported. Coyne is now facing 2 charges of arson as well as a charge of criminal mischief. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 24 points, but the Nasdaq is 67 points higher. The S&P 500 flat. It's down about 2. KDK Radio News Time 1:32. Our next update's at 2. I'm David Bollerado on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions with big news from Hunter Douglas. Free motorization is back by popular demand. For 1 week only, October 13th through October 21st, receive free smart automation on all blinds, shades, and shutters from Nest Expressions. Call 724-933-5500 or book online. NestExpressions.com.
Some restrictions apply.
We started Henyon & Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty.
The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Henyon & Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Reserve your spot for an exclusive tequila pairing dinner at Martirano's Prime at Rivers Casino, Thursday, October 9th. Experience a curated 4-course menu, perfectly paired with premium tequilas for $110 per person. Visit riverscasino.com for more information. Imagine growing up without seeing a ball game, visiting a museum, or exploring a zoo. For thousands of kids in our community, the cost of admission makes these experiences impossible. Tickets for Kids changes that. Learn more at ticketsforkids.org. Monday, November 3rd, get to Rivers Casino for the March of Dimes Signature Chefs Feeding Motherhood to raise critical funds to nourish all aspects of motherhood, from prenatal to postpartum. Visit feedingmotherhood.org or call 412-506-8611.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be pleasant with sunshine and some high clouds. Our high temperature 76 and partly cloudy tonight, though 50 to 54. Partly sunny tomorrow morning, then mostly sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon, high 79. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Friday, 5:30 until 10. We'll get you ready for the weekend and everything you need to know about Oktoberfest in the Berg.
You know, the deputy mayor was here, but the mayor wasn't here. He was at I'm not kidding. If I'm lying, I'm dying. He was tapping some keg at some beer thing. As I told you, the mayor is now a ribbon cutter. Good for him. He has checked out. Okay. Because people say no, but actions speak louder than words. He wasn't even there when they announced this budget, so hey, we all do our thing. T just did a piece I wanted to play again. This has significance greater than that incident, and her story kind of underlines one of the biggest issues facing America right now. Please play that piece. Thanks.
Police and fire crews responded to Chase Bank on McKnight Road, where surveillance video showed a man pouring gasoline over the machine and igniting it. The suspect, identified as Keith Coyne Jr., turned himself in around 6 p.m. Wednesday. According to police, Coyne admitted to the act, saying he wanted to make a statement against the federal government. The gas can found at the scene was marked with an expletive. No injuries were reported. Coyne is now facing 2 charges of arson as well as a charge of criminal mischief. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
I'm not defending, but by the way, the report's amazing. And when I first saw the surveillance pics, I'm like, what the hell would you do that for? And T explained it. This is a microcosm of where we're at, man. we're in a place, in a space that is uncomfortable for us. But the truth is that much of that there is not about, believe me, that bank or that ATM. Believe me. Much of that there, this gentleman pouring gas on an ATM and trying to burn it down, and his so-called act against the government is in his head. It's just, this is America's burden that no one wants to deal with. Local grocery store, someone just set, a homeless guy just set on fire last night. The little restaurant inside a grocery store. Homeless guy with mental illness. And folks, that, believe me, and I'm not defending what that guy did with the gasoline and trying to burn the ATM down, but as I do some checking, the guy has priors and he has mental illness issues. Was it 2 weeks ago, the guy drove his car into the FBI building on the south side. Just drove it in there, walked away. What do we find out? Significant mental health issues. Hey, man, I don't know why we don't hear it, but do you ever hear this in any of the debates about the budget? Do you ever hear Trump? Do you hear any of them? Ever talking about this American disaster? Mental illness. Folks, it's every damn day, man. And I mean, it's all day, all night. Until we figure this out, we're screwed. And you can be as mad as you want about the guy who poured gas on the ATM that the T just reported, and the pictures are kind of astounding. I mean, he's caught on tape. Duh. But he has mental illness. Yeah, he writes an expletive on the gas can because he's angry. And I'm trying to find out, but they're suggesting it might even be a veteran. So here we go. It's an American crisis. And I don't know, man. We're going to take a walk downtown live on Monday to some of the spots that need addressed by the city. But I promise you this right now, the vast majority of folks that are on the streets right now, and what have we been told, 80 to 90% have severe mental illness. The young man that I interviewed on the street, that's been arrested 250 times. We sat and talked to him. He's mentally ill. There's no doubt about it. And he's an alcoholic and a drug addict. He admits it. He's been arrested 250 times. He's been arrested more than any man in Allegheny County history. And you know we're all about the records, but that ain't some record that I would be proud of. It's an American disaster. How many times do we have to have the doctors on? Not one word from anyone in Congress. No one. Dems, Republicans, no one. That weirdo RFK Jr., they don't hear him talking about it. Never. Trump, nah. No one. Find a Democrat. I don't know. Where's the leadership, man? And I know I picked that case, T's report, but it was compelling enough. I'm thinking, this is where we're at, man. Do you think a normal thinking guy that doesn't have issues says, yeah, I'm going to show the government, I'm going to light an ATM on fire? No. It doesn't add up. It's what irks me when I see people taking a woman out of a house in handcuffs because she left animals without food. Okay. But I've been in those homes. They have toilet paper, trash, furniture, clothes stacked to the ceiling. Do you think they intentionally hurt the animals? No, they're mentally ill, man. It's friggin' rampant. And it's endless. And it's deep. My boy Mad Max just sent me a picture of two people overdosed on drugs downtown. One of them is on the Port Authority bus. And 3 Port Authority officers are right now saving the young man's life. Overdosed on drugs. Tied into this whole complex mental illness issue. Max sent me another photograph of a young woman completely passed out, high on drugs, sleeping upright in Strawberry Way. I promise you, she has a mental illness history. But we just step over it like we step over them when we're downtown. And when Kevin Acklin, the Ack, as I call him, was on live yesterday talking about he's downtown, was it 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, and he's on Smithfield Street, and a woman who's zombied out on drugs, his words, walks up and attacks a young girl and her dog and tried to kill her. What is that? Drugs, alcohol, mental illness. Ask the judges, man. They have to deal with these cases. Ask them. We have no way in this country of doing two things, managing law and order and mental illness. So as a result, our cities have become sewers and cesspools for the broken. And no one there to fix them. And it's getting worse. I have noticed with the homeless situation, all they do is move the garbage around. It's frightening. And it's never ending. And there's no damn end in sight. So when you see a guy on TV lighting up ATM on fire and you say, oh, what a loser, throw him in jail. Okay. But that ain't the issue, believe me. Do you think he had intentionally, if he was straight-minded, clear-headed, thought, yeah, I'll show them, I'll set the ATM on fire, that'll get even with the government, huh? No. He needs help, but he'll be out on bond within, or no bond at all, within 24 hours. And back at it again. Why? Because no one knows what the hell to do.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Planning your next family getaway? Before you click a book on one of those big travel sites, think about this. They add up to 15% in fees. That's money that could go towards dinners out, souvenirs, and another day of fun. At SWAC Vacation Rentals, we believe your money is for your vacation. By booking directly at swacvacations.com, you save that money for what really matters. The price you see is the price you pay. Find your perfect spot and keep the savings. That's SWAC, SWACK, vacations.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now. Larry Richard here for Larimores. My made-to-measure suit from Laramore's is the perfect blend of old-fashioned tailoring and contemporary style. I'll be wearing it at the next Pittsburgh Speaker Series, or check it out on my social media. Thanks, Laramore's.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends. Weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM,
NASCO
and AM
Roofing.
1020 KDKA.
Here's why I love NASCO. First of all, woman needed a roof, and her husband. Horrible situation with the roof. Massive hole on the roof. Massive. No one would fix it. $20,000 plus job. Jerry and Asari, NASCO Roofing, fix it for free. For free. The work is unbelievable. The warranty, the work, the labor, guaranteed. Absolutely the best products, the best staffing, the best pricing, the best service, and they care. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. NASCO, 412-373-2000.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Meijer is coming to Cranberry Township. The Business Times has learned that Meijer is working to bring a 159,000 square foot Meijer store to be part of a new plan called Henderson Crossing in Cranberry Township. The local development firm Alphabet City Company, led by Tony Dolan, introduced the proposal to Cranberry's Planning Advisory Commission on Monday evening, a day before Meijer announced its plans to set up shop in the Pittsburgh area without divulging where. Ron Henshaw, the Director of Planning and Development Services for Cranberry Township, confirmed the basics of the proposed deal at the Monday evening meeting, adding that Meijer is the principal tenant for the project. Also, River Life, the Pittsburgh-based nonprofit that has spearheaded millions of dollars in investment in the area's riverfronts since its start in 1999, is launching an historic comprehensive campaign. The campaign is the largest fundraising effort in the organization's history, looking to raise $30 million in total. It's titled 3 Rivers, 1 Loop, and it aims to fund the first phases of River Life's Completing the Loop vision plan. The plan was formulated by the organization in an effort to create a connected system of trails and parks along Pittsburgh's 15 miles of riverfront. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
So my wife loves our dog. A lot of people love their dogs. They're very cool. They're very cool. So she takes the dog for a walk last night. This is a funny story. Believe me, it's funny. So back up. My wife, when she takes the dog for a walk, it's usually it gets darker earlier. And she has these little things she wears that glow in the dark and blah, blah, blah. And the dog poops most of the time. Two things happen. So on a previous walk, there's a meaning to the story, believe me. On a previous walk, the dog pooped and she put in one of those little bags, and the trash folks were coming the next morning, and the neighbors had, on the little block we walk around in Mount Lebanon, the neighbors had, they're not close friends of ours. I don't even know if she knows their names. But they had their trash cans out. And their little green bags tied in a knot. She picked it up, put the poop in the neighbor's trash can that the trash guys would empty out the next day. And believe me, they're sealed bags. It's not raw turds. No one's pooping in the can. There's a point to this. The lady, with her nose in the air, went off. How dare you? Huh? How dare you? Huh? Now, my wife is the kindest, sweetest, most mature person on earth. I am not any of those things. I'm sorry. I will retrieve the poop. Now, this angry lady in the probably $1.5 million house, I don't know if that matters, but it might. She might think she's special because she's rich. Was angry because in her and it was at the end of her driveway. And again, this is how this works. The big trash machine comes by in the morning and it hooks to the can, and no one touches it. It picks it up. It's kind of cool. And it dumps it in the back, and the poop in the green bag that's tied a knot falls into the back of the trash can. Everybody goes home happy, except the angry lady down the street. I do not think it's appropriate for you to put your dog's poop in our trash. Really, lady? I felt like, but I didn't, going back and pooping on her lawn later that night, which seemed like a good idea when I was 15. I'm not 15. I don't get it. I can't manage that in my head. I can't. I could see if, I could see if you're like dumping turds in there and there was a shovel and all that. I'm annoyed then. I could see if the dog craps in your lawn and walks along. I'm annoyed then. But we have kind of proper dog walkers in our neighborhood. They always have the bags and they always pick it up. It's actually pretty cool. That lady couldn't deal. I just don't like her now. And I hope she sells her house. And someone moves in that accepts strange dog poop in bags the night that the poop's being thrown out. I think that's fair. I might start a campaign. I just think in the big picture of things happening in the world that shouldn't matter to the angry old lady. Should it? It really shouldn't, man. So last night, she goes out, and she was unaware, Patrick, that she was out of poop bags. It's a true story. So the dog pooped along my wife's route that she walks with a dog. True story. And my wife didn't have the flashlight. Another true story. She comes back in the house, and by now it's like 8:30, and it's kind of, I don't want her out walking because you get hit by a car, but she has this light and all these glow things, and she literally says, she has a bag in her hand, I got to go find Rosie's poop. True story. And she has this big flashlight, and she goes on a mission to find Rosie's poop, and she never found it. So my point is, if you live in our neighborhood, and you walked in poop this morning, that's on the Griffins. And we're sorry. It wasn't. If you have poop on your shoes, it's on me. And I apologize. And we owe you one. At least. Just saying. Life happens, you know.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independent